picking up. That's fun. Oh, it is. Okay. Welcome back to Pax Mithdosica. That was a bit sporadic. It sounds like we should have someone summarize where we were at. So, who would like to do so?
Well, I believe what happened last time is we got out of the wizard tower. We talked to the chillest barbarian of all time because he was on drugs the whole time and didn't sleep. And then we walked through the desert for a long time, and we sat down with the Neftarin, and then we got some stories, and we traded
Not a
them some
Neftarin.
stories.
That's the other desert.
Oh, what kind of?
Athnuine.
Athnuine. Oh shit. Am I racist now?
Yes.
I mean,
Is
yeah, but
this
so
what
is
you
everyone else
are?
in Valeros, so it's
But
fine.
the fictional sense.
That's true.
Although
Now
now,
you
is
say?
a strong word
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Wait, that's been.
Okay, so you met at Athnuine.
Yeah, well, he was about to say it. So we sat down with the Athnuine and we traded stories with them, and then we were like, okay, let's kill the monstrosities in the desert to our right. And Maximus was like, I don't wanna. And then we were like, I do not care.
A monstrosity. A singular
Yeah.
one.
And then Corvus stole a bunch of drugs, did them, and then didn't wake up. And so
I didn't
he
steal them.
He was
They were
gifted
given
them.
to us, and I took them.
it was
is a
promised
subtle
to him
distinction.
5,000 years
Yes.
earlier by God.
No, it was given to him by fucking
Revealed to me in a
the
dream.
Denendir, I think.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Good bit.
Do you remember the
If
very,
Blake-
very ending part?
I believe it was us deciding whether we're just gonna TP back or continue going, and then
Exactly what it
everyone
was.
except for Maximus wanted to keep going.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, you guys
As
held
it
a vote,
always has been.
and it did not. I think you also voted to stay, or no, you voted last strategically.
I-
but you wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is where we are. We are currently in a valley. In the morning, you all have a level of exhaustion that I gave you at the end of last session because this desert is creepy, and it's not just like feeling watched or whatever. It's silhouettes on the rise. It's the bitter howling of wind. All of this is going to make it very difficult to sleep. So it's the following morning, and we are in the Scourge. As I mentioned the last couple of times, the Nazar Desert is white sand. It's not your traditional, it's nothing like the Great Desert, which is the only other desert in the world for people to compare it to. That thing has yellow and orange sands. Here, though, it's white. And we've been using kind of stellar navigational tools since we don't have any other way to navigate. So our plan the plan given to you by the Athnuine was to go south, and if you wanted to, you could go slightly east, which would get you even closer to the actual surface portion of Golgotha. And so far, you've gone south for 1 day. I believe he said to go south for 3 and then go west. So, what cardinal direction are we trying to walk in? Is I guess how I'll ask that.
Before we do that, Alex.
Yeah.
Is it clear that like every night is probably gonna be like that,
Not really.
and we're just gonna not get sleep? Oh,
You only have
alright.
one data point.
Yeah, that's fair. What does the second level of exhaustion do?
Oh, they start to get real nasty.
Half speed.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's real bad.
And then third
Because then
level
it takes that much longer, and then which means if our speed is halved, and it took us 2 days to get to that point, it will take us 4 days to get out, and we will die.
It'll take us 0 days because we'll just
Right.
teleport.
Oh,
Yeah, depending on how
Uh,
things look, I'm saving
Forgot about
my
that.
people.
Nice argument, fighter. I have teleport.
However,
What is the however?
I would prefer not having to teleport us though, because we wanted to like go to other places, and if I just teleport us, it would be all the way back to Mythos.
I believe
Well,
we wanted to go
if,
right back to Mythos because we have
Yeah,
yet
but
to
then we
give
wanna-
an update.
I'm sorry. Didn't we want to go to some other places first?
I think you did, but I think everyone else was
Someone
like,
did.
nah.
I wanted to do.
He is unfortunately the
some
one with
fighting.
teleport.
I think the fighting's happening no matter what, Yogi.
Good.
He's a single issue
Well,
voter.
if we
At
we
least he's
go
consistent.
for one more day, and the sleep is always like this, then we will have to teleport.
Quite possible.
Although, well, we most likely will, because then we just
Too
die of
bad
exhaustion.
Corvus
on
destroyed all the
sixth night.
drugs that would have given us a full night's sleep.
Bro.
What the?
Very restful sleep as
And-
well.
I wonder, Alex, would the bracelet of warning have counteracted the drug effects?
Probably.
I
not.
mean, probably. I would imagine it would. Magic will almost always overwrite any physical phenomenon. What does it say specifically?
Oh,
no, it
if-
just says it
if
warns you.
Drugs are
you are
magic,
sleeping-
Alex.
This one says the bracelet magically awakens you and your companions within 30 feet. But it also says if you are sleeping naturally.
Oh well, then there you go.
Yep.
Drugs are
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Not
think
sure
a
that's
person
what
that's
it
blacked
means.
out is sleeping naturally. Okay. I will say this does remind me of maybe it was Echo. I don't know. I don't remember. There was some campaign where someone used lay on hands to cure drunkenness for the first time. Maybe it was Dwarf Game, and I was like, I guess it is a poison. Like definitionally, like it literally matches. Like I guess it would be. It's just the dosage.
Alcohol
okay.
is a poison.
So
When someone dies of alcohol poisoning.
yeah, yeah. Are we going
Give
southeast?
it away.
Are we going southeast or south?
I vote south.
I go south because I took that 1 feat.
Okay. You don't want to get closer to the.
I lied. I shouldn't. I forgot that you would just believe me. I did not take that feat.
I don't even know what
What
that
the-
1 feet is. I just
What
assumed
feet?
you had a feature.
Yeah, what 1 feet could you?
Me when I lie,
that
and my
one
friends
that
implicitly
you know-
believe me. Okay.
Yeah,
We
that
go
one
south
where you
then.
know where north is all the time.
All right. Oh, okay. We are going south then.
Keen-minded or whatever.
Oh yeah. Let's get a survival
Something like
check. And as a reminder, we have no horses. This mostly matters for Maximus, but it is worth reminding you.
And it's at disadvantage.
It is indeed a
Can't we get
Indeed.
a Pegasus out here?
Yes, I think a Pegasus is the only animal you have, if I recall correctly. Let me go check my little handout.
I don't think we took the Pegasus.
I thought it
You
was.
did not take the
I thought it
Pegasus.
was
I
in
checked my
Mythos.
notes. Yes, indeed. Now it can be summoned, but all right. We need checks.
Is there
from-
survivalist?
It seems like Grania by default, but we need
Oh, I
Zednius
thought all
and
of us made checks.
yeah, it is going to be a party-wide survival check. So we need Zednius and
Oh, okay. Oh,
Maximus.
that was
Oh.
that was the wrong thing.
Leave him
That's
behind,
But
good.
guys.
I got
He's
a.
dead before.
Yeah, I
we
actually.
have
It,
exo-
it's hard on the iPad. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
difficult.
Yeah.
rolled a natural
That's
8.
So that's a 14.
Okay.
Well, it's disadvantaged because we are all exhausted, right?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
disadvantage, you got
but that's
14.
why it's an 8. Otherwise, it would be 16.
Yep.
Plus mods.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Oh, stealth is less than that. Sorry.
The 5 of you begin to walk across the Nezarene Desert. You've done this twice so far. The first day, or I guess you did it for 2 days with Dinandir, but that didn't feel the same because you were being guided pretty consistently at a quick pace by a skilled person with lots of knowledge of the desert. This is not that. This is 5 people who have never been in a desert before, bumbling, and multiple times Grania catches you. In fact, the party's been walking south for about 2 hours now. The sun is high enough up that it's probably 10 or 11, nearing noon. You are all sweaty from the heat and the dryness. And Grania, you stand atop a ridge and you notice that, like, you know, the party's been getting more and more strung out. And while you're not the most physically adept, you know where south is, but they've all been drifting. And now, you know, the whole party is spread out over like 400 feet. You can see that Zednius has like descended into a valley between two ridges and kind of like looped back in on himself and just erased like the last 5 minutes of walking. You seem to be the only one to know where you're going.
I don't think I have any way to notify them, so I'm gonna ask if the fluttering one can kind of like tug them back in the right direction.
Okay, Maximus, you're sitting down, just catching your breath for a moment. Being in bulky armor makes this probably the most miserable for you of anyone.
Yeah.
And as you're doing that, you feel something land on your shoulder. You look, there's nothing there, and then you hear a voice in a rasping mythos. Follow Grania.
If I recall correctly, I know kind of. Wait, don't we all know about?
Yes, you know of
Where
something
power
on.
comes from now?
You know of something in Grania's hair. You've heard this voice before. For a birthday party, this similar voice awoke you and told you to celebrate a birthday for Grania. So I think you can probably put all.
right.
I think
yeah.
we saw it.
I think he did.
Yeah,
I think,
that's
or maybe
right.
you did. So one member of the party saw it.
With one, yeah. Whoever went invisible and followed me at that place with the overgrown
So this
hedges.
far into the campaign, I think you can connect all the dots.
I don't think it was me who saw it then.
Yeah, I don't
But
believe
okay,
so.
yeah, I can
It
connect
was
the dots.
invisible.
I think it was me.
I think it might have been Severus.
You were in.
Who knows? Anyways,
Anywho,
Yeah.
yes, mysterious Fae thing. Yes, whatever you say. And then I'll get up and.
Wait, what did he say?
that he with big eyes. You reply to that, Maximus,
that
or do you
mean?
just say? Just start walking at the granny.
Do I have big eyes?
No.
I'll point at Primius. Him? Oh, you. Oh, that's your name? Or I suppose what you want me to call you? Okay then, he with big eyes.
You hear
I'm,
a little like buzzing
I'm
noise, sort of
Maximus.
like an insect flying, and then the weight pulls off your shoulder.
Huh. I'll have to ask her about that.
Pribius, you were you were already following Grania anyways, mostly because your survival score was high enough to realize you were getting lost, and so you start to follow Grania. Heko is similar, but Zednius, you're standing atop a ridge and kind of squinting. You have like all your beautiful silks are now hampered by sand. Some of them are like wrapped around your forehead. You're looking almost like a native, mostly because you're like wrapping clothes around yourself to protect from the sun. And as you're kind of sitting on a ridge, looking at your footsteps, trying to figure out how you're like so far from the rest of the party, which is within line of sight, just 600 feet away, you see like two little footprints appear in the sand to your left. They're long. They have 3 toes, each of which ends in a claw. Clearly an invisible creature. But then you hear a voice that says, "Zednius."
I'm detect magicking just so I can see a little bit of an outline of this creature.
Yeah, your eyes start
Although I
to glow.
recognize the voice.
Yeah, your eyes start to glow. You see the heat creature hop back. It's a little bit less than a foot tall. It has long, almost dragonfly-like wings based on the silhouette. It looks like a little humanoid with fur.
Is there any artwork
Oh.
of the fluttering one that we ever saw?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's on her Grania's extended portrait. I think it's in the chat somewhere.
I'll go find it.
But yeah, you see this outline.
Oh, you're Grania's friend.
He with wings.
Do I know where the others are? I'm lost. Where do I need to go?
I will guide you. And you hear zzz as a little insectoid buzzing as the thing lifts up, lands on your head, and subtly tugs on your hair, Ratatouille style.
Oh. Well, lead the way.
You feel like a horse with a jockey riding on you.
It's Ratatouille.
It's Ratatouille. And a little bit later, you descend down into a valley between two dunes and back up another, and then you spot the party and notice that basically everyone has fallen in line behind Grania, since she seems to be the only one that can stick going south reliably.
I'll walk over to Zednir, seeing that he seems like disheveled.
Yeah, two tufts of his hair are like held up.
I'll just walk over and I'll kind of like prestidigitate his clothes a bit to be less sandy and slightly cooler on the skin, even for just
for just 6 seconds, he feels slightly cool.
Oh, thank you.
Are you okay? Need some
Yeah,
more?
I have some, thank you. But we need to get to Grania. He's going the correct way.
Yeah, she does seem to kind of know.
Alright, well, I'm headed to her. Just come with me.
Yeah.
You guys descend down the dune into the valley, and the 5 of you regroup at around noon. In the shadow of the dune, you eat your lunch for the day. Boiled travel rations, delish.
While we're eating lunch, I'll turn to, well, I suppose, the party as a collective, because they're all magically inclined. So, I understand heat metal is a spell, right? I'll look for confirmation. Yes. Okay. Is there a cool metal by chance?
Shake my head.
Not really.
No.
There's spells that can
No.
alter temperature, and there's spells that can
Eyes.
create water, which I guess could work similarly-ish. Why are you asking?
Well, armor's kind of hot.
Yeah, you can
And
see
if you
sweat
just
rolling
had a
down in
thing that could
rivulets.
just make it cool.
How much water do we... Well, no, we don't
Sort
have
of a
enough water for you to pour it on yourself. But we could make your water colder.
That's fine. I just assumed that if heat metal was a spell, then cool metal would also be one. Is that not the way it works? Can't you just do it?
Spells are normally only created when there's an applicable use outside of, I guess, it feels good cases. So.
And
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
I can...
What
Wait,
about
wait,
that?
wait.
Well, what about
Mine's
that
pretty
one that
nice.
makes you clean and such? What other use does that
Yeah,
have?
I'll be like, yeah, I have an idea, and then I'll prestidigitate your armor, and it says I can chill it for up to an hour.
Okay.
Ooh.
An hour. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Wait, it does?
I
Oh,
thought it was 6 seconds.
Up to what? Okay, it's 1 cubic foot of non-living material, so
Yeah.
part of...
Yeah, you can just do
cool.
like the heat points, so the armpit, the groin of the plate, like the back, things like this. Yeah, it also works a lot better on armor than it does on, fabrics, just because of the specific heat.
my suggestion would have been, I was just gonna say, I can use frostbite on like a bit of water to make like an ice cube and throw it into your
Holy babe. Yeah, Zendius lifts his hand and boom, Maximus, all the really hot parts of your body go cold and you can feel heat start to like leach into the armor in those places.
Oh, that's nice. So it is a spell.
Well, prestidigitation is kind of like an all-rounder. You can get real creative with it.
That's just a use I hadn't thought of before.
Yeah.
Alright.
More of you mages
Higher
need to
magic.
be in the actual army.
I'm sure in like
Imagine how
higher
much
magic
would get done.
and societies with like lots of mages, they probably use this stuff to clean their room and such all the time. Or cool their drink.
Huh.
Just that in Mythdosia, magic is usually, you become a battle mage. Or you seen as a traitor to the Empire.
I guess.
You finish up lunch and descend from the shadow of the dune and continue your southward journey. Your feet drag across the sand and heat wafts up. It's like the air is an oven and the sand is the burning embers. Squinting through sifts of white sand carried on bitter wind, I think it'd probably be... I think the highest perception is... Grania still? Highest passive perception?
12? I don't think so.
Oh, certainly not. Someone has higher than a 12, right?
14.
14. Anyone higher than a 14?
16.
Holy shit! That's crazy. Okay, Maximus, you squint across the desert.
Perception proficiency.
Yeah. You can see
yeah, okay.
a jagged black spike emerging from the earth in the far, far distance. It's about... It looks like it's 10, 12 feet tall. It's at about a 45-degree angle. It's silhouetted against like the backdrop of the desert. It's far enough away that you can make out there's something on it, but it's kind of small.
What the hell's that? I'll point it out to everyone.
Yeah, everyone else can spot it. This kind of spike emerging up from the desert floor, 45-degree angle, something dangling at the tip.
So, got something.
Is it moving?
No, perfectly rigid, though the thing dangling from it moves a bit in the wind.
Well, could the fluttering one check it out?
Crania's gonna give you a glare.
I don't know. There are things we could use to check it out without us having to go look at it.
Yeah, I'll just send my familiar forward.
Okay, Corvus's raven.
Staying at like 100, 200 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
Get above it and then get back.
Yeah, Corvus's raven flies up off his shoulder. His eyes roll back into his head. Normally, someone is supposed to support the wizard because they are completely removed from their bodies and need someone to keep them upright and squeeze their hand if they need to return to their form. Who wants to support Corvus while he scouts?
Yeah, he could hold his hand. All right.
All right, the calloused hands of a decades-long fighter, Primius, holds onto Corvus's hand and, puts his hand on his shoulder. And Corvus, through the eyes of the raven, the Scourge is like a real place, which is kind of weird. What I'm saying is, the Scourge is just a different section of desert. While you guys were walking, it didn't feel that different. There was no point where you're like, oh, the Scourge started. But as the Raven goes higher and higher, and you can start to see, miles and miles in all directions, you can see to your north, it's really hard to describe, but it's like there's a shadow over the land. It's one of those things where, as a wizard, you have no idea what you're looking at. But from an experiential perspective, there's white sand, and then there's white sand that looks a little bit grayer, and that kind of barrier disappears in the north and it disappears in the west, and where you are, it's grayish. And then to your east, you can see, since you're pretty high up, almost every mile or so, you can see these thin little lines of whitish smoke or steam rising up, and then most of them disappear, which is why you guys haven't been seeing them all around you. But from this kind of upwards perspective where you're looking down at the desert, you can actually see these little plumes of steam every mile or so in all directions to the south and east, that whole field of view. Now the spike. You said you're going to be 100 or 200 feet up above it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on how high is the spike, how tall is it?
It's about, it's 12 feet, it's at a 45 degree, so 6 feet.
Oh, okay. I thought it was taller.
No.
Then probably just 100 feet.
Okay, yeah. Your raven swoops down, and hell, some of the dunes in this part of the desert are taller than 100 feet, so, you kind of lose this bird's eye view and go down to more ground level. And what you see is a jagged piece of blackened metal emerging from the sand, and skewered on the end of it is the desiccated husk of an Athnoween. Its legs are moving as the breeze brushes them.
Wow.
But clearly dead, right?
Yes, and placed on the end of the spike, like a magpie. Or a shrike.
Is it possible to tell how long he's been on there?
Yeah, I mean, it's not recent. I'll put it that way. So the Sathnoween has red tattoos and the tight-fitting garb of, like, Dinandir or some of the other... Like, he's not from the same tribe as the Remembrancers. He's more belonging to wherever Dinandir's from. His skin is almost, like, transparent. Like, it's paper over his bones. He's fully desiccated here. No moisture, so no rot. And just desiccated husk impaled on the end of this spike.
Is there anything nearby that looks like any signs of a perpetrator? I know it's been a long time, but maybe they're still around.
None that you can see through the Raven's eyes. Though I will say, since you're 100 feet up, if you got a bit closer, it'd probably be easier to, like, notice some things about this metal, because it doesn't look like one piece. Like, this doesn't look like... This looks constructed, obviously. I mean, it's a piece of solid metal. But, you feel like you can almost see, like, individual strands that form it, rather than, like, sheets or some other thing. Like, these long, like, sinews.
Catches my interest, and I'll get a bit closer.
Okay, you circle down, flying about 20 feet above. You can now see that this Athnoween died by being impaled. Its face is in horror. There's, like, blood that is so dry and desiccated that it's, like, black and cracked on the surface of the metal, like, dripping down from its chest along the length of the spike. It's been there for years, maybe, just desiccating onto the metal. As for the metal itself, you can see that it looks almost like wood fiber. Like, it's these long strands that run from basically where the metal disappears into the sand all the way up to the tip. They're each about half an inch across, and they just run the whole length. You've never seen any metal construction ever like this in your life. The few metal constructions that exist within Mithdosica, like large things, so that this would be like... Very rarely, ship hulls are used, made by metal and then reinforced with magic to be able to float. And those are a series of plates that are riveted together. This is completely not that.
Does it remind me of what the dragon looked like?
It's hard to say because you only got a tiny little snapshot. And to do that, you need to put a microscope to this metal and see if it has the same, like, basically microscopic patterns on it. However, it's if it is metallurgy, like if this was made by a craftsman, this is better than anything that any society on the face of Valeros can currently do. Notably as well, it wasn't like cast out of like a creation spell or something like this, because magic makes solid objects with no seams. It's one of the biggest giveaways that something is made with magic. This has obvious seams.
Yeah, I'll tell the crow to come back and get back into my actual head.
Yeah, your eyes roll back into your socket. You can feel, you felt this whole time, but Prometheus's hand on your shoulder and holding your hand. And as he sees your eyes roll back, he kind of steps back.
There's an Athnoween on that spike impaled. Been dead for quite a while, though. And I couldn't see anybody who's around. As for that spike, it's made out of a really weird metal. I'd have to inspect closer, but it's not something I'm familiar with.
Sounds like if we want to fight, that's where we gotta go.
That's what it seems like.
I suppose, and I'll cast my gem on myself. Wait, never mind, I don't have it prepared.
Nice.
Idiot.
So we're walking over to the spike.
I think so.
Hold on, let me see. I want to cast a prep spell if I think we're gonna fight.
Okay.
Never mind.
All right, we start to walk. As it gets closer, and you all start to see the same thing.
Interrupt the DM.
No, that's fine. No, let him
Yeah.
cook. This is the time to cast your prep spells if you think combat is coming.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I'm casting
If
Well,
you
how
think
confident
combat's
are
coming.
you, Severus? I'm asking
Who's
Severus.
Severus
Not
is dead.
Severus.
Sadka.
Fuck. Corvus.
PTSD flashbacks.
The
Are you-
mushroom
I
Alex
man.
is
saw you,
casting,
Like,
shield
get
of faith on
frustrated that you don't
himself.
have mage armor.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm wondering. Are you
Well,
sure
mage
there's
armor
trouble
lasts
ahead?
a long time. There's
Mage
definitely
armor's 8
trouble in the
hours?
next-
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 hours.
I'd assume there'd be trouble within the next
Also, my
few
global
hours.
AC modifier broke, so my AC is 23, not 21.
I'll go fix it.
I'll hold off for now, but because my spell only lasts 1 hour, and I'd rather not waste it.
Small question, Echo. Do you want to mention the steam that you saw rising up from other parts of the desert?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's
totally
okay.
showed you.
I was just double checking.
Also, the landscape, like there's little steam holes coming out from places. Doesn't seem to
That be
like,
the angry things?
presumably? I'm not sure. It could also just be the way their construction works. I have no idea how the machines would get moisture expelled. So maybe they convert it to steam. I really have no clue.
As you get closer to this spike,
Where the moisture's coming from?
that's a good question. This is a fucking desert.
Yeah,
Grania,
where are they getting all this water to make all this steam?
Well, the desert still has water underground. Pretty
True.
deep, but it has water underground, right?
Bro, aquifers. Fun little fact about real life. Back in some of the biggest water reservoirs in the world in real life used to be in Saudi Arabia, which is just a funny little coincidence of geography. So that they had very good underwater aquifer reserves. They've consumed massive portions of them, but they used to have some of the largest. Anyways, Grania, as you see this body pierced onto this spike, it does remind you of a creature called a Shrike Dragon. None of them lived in the Ardreach because they're way too malevolent to be allowed there by the Mother of Groves. But you heard of them in other courts, and this was like it was almost like a boogeyman type story. It was a large bird-like dragon that would lift up its prey and then impale them onto branches, and then when they eventually expired, it would devour them. And you know, an Athnoine impaled on a spike, based on, as you can now all see as you're getting closer, based on the dried and cracked blood, they were bleeding a lot when they were put on this spike, meaning it probably wasn't like a post-death mutilation.
What if it's a pre-death mutilation?
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
That is the
That
other
was
option.
the implication.
Yeah, also, now that you're close, you know, you're all kind of gathering around it, you can feel the sand beneath your feet thrumming with like a ambient droning.
Well, that ain't good.
Do we see like any like movement in the sand somewhere?
No. It's not, doesn't feel close. It feels distant, very deep beneath you.
Oh, okay.
You also can all see the
What's the
craftsmanship
frequency,
that...
like the frequency? Is it like every 3 seconds we have like one?
No, it's
large
much more
thing?
consistent than that. It's like a constant 70 times a second something is happening, and then that's kind of like filtering through the sand, and now it just becomes this like dull droning noise.
So it's a lot of
Guys,
large
the
things, but one
Fremen, they're
gigantic-
summoning the sandworms. No!
Does that set off alarm bells for it being the same monster I was thinking of?
No, not at all. The Shrike was the Shrike Dragon is basically a bird dragon, and that thing didn't do any of this shit. It also used trees, not spikes. It's just a similar hunting pattern.
Okay.
That's not okay.
Well,
Also, you can all note now
Maybe-
the remarkable metallurgy of the spike.
I'll give it a tonk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when you touch it, you notice that it's hotter than normal. Like, it's hotter than the rest of the desert. It has a heat to it that it's exuding.
Impressive for something. What color is it again?
Black.
Well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, it
And
looks
it's
like
even
a type
hotter
of,
than
like...
a black metal object would be expected to be
Yeah,
in
it's
the
probably
desert.
like 200 or 300 degrees.
Jesus.
Good thing
Wait,
I have a
Celsius or
gauntlet.
Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay.
So
We
what
go
is
do
that?
both.
130,
Oh yeah, all right.
135 Celsius? I don't know. Something like that.
Fahrenheit 451.
No.
Wait.
Do these other bozos not have gloves, or do they all have gloves at least?
Let's think about this. So Primius 100% would, because he's wearing armor. Grania probably wouldn't. Yogi is wearing a breastplate, so I don't think so. And then Heko, I don't think so either.
I'll look to those
not
three
really.
then. Don't touch that.
I will say, when you were touching it, Maximus, I think there's like, it's interesting because you weren't touching it very long, but there's multiple sensations you would have felt immediately, which is one, very hot. That was instant. Secondly, the thing is vibrating slightly. It's very slight. I mean, none of you can see it, but again, that thrumming that's coming from deep in the earth, it's almost like a part of it's carrying, like these vibrations are carrying up through the spike, and so you can feel the thrumming from below when you touch it.
I lean my helmet on it so I can like hear the thrumming better.
That's very smart. Because I was going to say, you can't really put your ear in it because you're going to burn your ear. But yeah, helmet works. Yeah, you press your helmet to it, and you can actually hear the noise now. Because a lot of the muffling of the earth gets destroyed. You can now just hear it. It's a tuka 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 tuka. That's what it sounds like.
Like a construct?
Frank.
Huh.
I'll say he's never heard a noise like this in his life, but that's not saying much because you also haven't encountered many dwarven ruins in your life.
I'm not a very learned man in that sense.
No. Do you describe the noise to others as you listen to it?
It's like a train.
It's unlike anything. It's unlike anything I've ever heard in my life.
I just
I don't know exactly. Are there like magical pistons
Like
or
it's
something
the
like
ancient
that?
of
Nope, there is not.
Alright,
I'd like to go up to the pillar. I'm gonna
That
put
is-
my
An odd noise.
glove against it, and I'm gonna rest my hand or my head against my palm so I can.
Okay. Now, there's a small chance you may know about something that sounds like this. Primius, roll me a straight-up history check. Wait,
At
do you
disadvantage.
proficiency in history? I profiled you based on your character background.
I'm sorry, what did you ask me?
Based.
I was asking Ethan and Blake if they had history proficiencies.
Oh, not me. Okay.
No, sorry.
I do
No,
not.
you
have history.
profiled me exactly.
Okay.
I have a
don't
history
think so.
proficiency.
Okay, well, neither of them do, and they're the ones touching the pillar. Yeah, Primius and Maximus, neither of you recognize the noise.
I'll look at Primius. You ever heard anything like that before?
Shake my head. Nothing I'm familiar with.
Where's Corvus? It's like a. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Here, I just hand him my helmet.
Yeah, it's about 2 sizes,
Don't,
4 sizes
don't
too
put
big.
your- yeah. Don't put your ear on that.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'll use the helmet.
You put your head on it, Corvus, and it is to the benefit of everyone in the party that you were a lonely child, because you know exactly what this sound is. Not that you'd ever heard it before, but because you've read about something that should sound like this, and there were even like visual descriptions of it. About 600 years ago, which is nearing the limits of like recorded reliable history. In the Delian League, there is this very clever little inventor who made what he called a steam engine. It was horribly flawed. It consumed ridiculous amounts of material. It blew up a lot. He could only ever get it to work on the size of like basically a thing on your desk. But he did make it work. It's just there was no realistic way to turn that into anything useful. It's just like an oddity. And so it's largely been forgotten in the just for a variety of impracticalities, been forgotten in Valerosan general lore. But again, lonely child reading about everything you possibly could, you stumbled across a book of Delian inventions, and that from your childhood, it pulls itself back to the surface because that is a working, very large and reliable steam engine that's exploding or burning or the pistons hammering. You're not sure what this engine looks like. It's probably not like that little desk ornament, but it's working, and it's big, and it's kicking off a shit ton of heat that it needs to basically use this as a thermal vent of sorts.
Oh. That's fascinating. Not sure I haven't heard anything like this, but I think I know what it might be.
Most people in Valorous would
it?
call it an Epikion engine, which is the name of the inventor.
Have any of you ever heard of an Epikion engine?
No.
Since he mentions the name, anyone who wants to make since he mentioned the name, anyone with like any history would have probably at least heard the name. It's one of those things that gets passed around in like semi-casual conversation of like, imagine if that thing worked. Oh man, we'd live in a utopia. But
all right, I probably had a convo like that before.
You meet anyone that's like read a book and they'll be like, never mind, Maximus and Proteus have never heard of that shit in their lives.
I didn't like talking to the engineers. Those guys were too big brain for me.
Yeah, true. You get blank stares, Corvus.
Confused chameleon.
I'm not surprised nobody knew about it, but I thought maybe. It's the type of device that, though it's pretty hard to make work, it creates motion from heated steam.
Interesting.
It's like a prototype. Imagine like a cooking pot, and you have something above the cooking pot, and the steam manages to move that something just by the sheer amount of it.
Fascinating.
Wouldn't you need like a ridiculous amount of steam?
Or pressure. I'm not exactly sure how they work. The ones that actually were ever built as a prototype were small and incredibly inefficient and dangerous. I don't think anything's ever been... From what it sounds like, it sounds gigantic. And it seems to work, and considering I saw all of those steam vents going up, I have a suspicion that this machine is gigantic. Or maybe it's multiple, like network of multiple of them, but what they're achieving, I don't know. And the spike
Didn't
here,
they say the...
I think it's just meant to like make some of the heat go outwards and disperse.
It's certainly working in that regard. Didn't he say the machines belched a bunch of that steam?
That's entirely possible. And I guess that makes sense.
What were you asking, Blake?
Alex, while they're discussing, I want to real quick just scan our surroundings, make sure we're not getting too deep into conversation and
you
getting
scan your
snuck up on.
surroundings. You guys are on a pretty flat plane at the moment. There's a colossal dune to your south, like 100-foot high dune. But where you're at present, I mean, it's flat all around, so there's nothing above the sand surface.
No, that's
Is there any
because
like
the soldier's
shifting
fast.
sands?
Nothing obvious.
Like, I guess bubbling, bursting a little?
Nah, nothing obvious.
Any sands plugging out of their gourd?
You're lucky. There's no great worms in this desert. In the Great Desert there is, but not in the Nazar Desert.
Yeah. They'd have a field day with whatever this is.
They
They'd
would
come
probably have
running.
eaten it whenever it was built.
I'm just imagining the scene from Dune where they get the spice extractor out before the
Oh
shiny
yeah.
comes.
No Shai Halud in this desert.
What the?
Boo.
That's why this desert sucks!
Well,
Where's my shiny load?
So, back on the open road.
You think we just gotta wait here, or?
Well, I got an idea. Maybe we just bang on the, this, just to let them know that we're here.
Sound will carry pretty wide. How many do we want to attract? Same time. If we
One.
could go to one of those sources of this, yeah, if we
One.
could go towards one of the sources of the steam, one at the edge, then that might like be like a ventilation shaft or something that we could look down and maybe see one of them and attract it that way, so we don't have to, you know. Better to find one bee than to punch the entire hive, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. The idea was to go on top of this thing?
No.
What was the...
But there's these steam vents that are all over the place. I was thinking we find one that's at kind of the edge of the area, and we look inside it, and perhaps that way we can attract some attention without attracting the attention of everything in the area.
Alright, let's do that.
Okay.
As we start walking, so you said this thing heats the steam to make motion.
It uses heated steam. I'm not sure if it heats it, and
Sure, but the steam gets heated, right?
yeah, I think so.
And
Little
least
sidebar, I don't
that's
actually,
any-
off the top of my head, know exactly how a steam engine works, so I might
I think
say
your
stupid
knowledge is
shit.
perfectly in line with Corvus's.
Okay.
but if that thing, and I'll point at the tower we're leaving behind, is anything to go off, the steam is gonna be hot.
Very.
And you want to
Without
stick
that.
your face down in it and look?
No. No, I
Isn't that what
didn't.
we?
Not fully. We can. I was thinking we could.
Oh, well,
I
that's
could
pretty
have-
smart.
I could have someone be. We could be slightly above, so the steam starts dispersing a bit, and then shit
Yeah.
gets hot. And
It sounds like it's doing two things at once, because it's dispersing the heat, but it's also making the water collect on the top and drip back down, so there's more water to burn. Am I wrong?
oh, sorry, isn't the steam literally just flying out?
I was confused.
Not from this
before.
spike,
I have
no.
no clue what's
The spike
happening
has
now.
no steam or any liquid on it at all. The vents that you saw when your crow was in the sky were just distant little thin lines of steam rising up all across the desert. You haven't looked at them up close, so you're not sure what's causing it.
Yeah. So I'll say I'm not sure.
If there's no steam escaping, as you say, that means they either have a whole lot of water that's continuing it to run, or they're reusing the water that is being used
Yeah, I think.
by the
I
engine.
think you're onto something there. It's pretty smart.
So you fly
should've
your
gone
crow
to
back up.
engineering school, Premius.
Thanks.
That's not a compliment, Premius. Engineering
I know
school is
it
a lowly
wasn't.
profession. You're a member of the royal family. That's for fucking poor people.
It was meant as a compliment.
I know, but in Mithdosica, an engineer's profession is maybe the most it's not particularly beloved. We'll put it
Oh,
that way.
look at you! You could be a little shoe shiner, you little
s-
fucking
like,
idiot!
Yeah, civil engineers are the most respected engineers, and that's still not very respected. Okay, you fly up the crow. You spot the nearest vent. It's only about a mile walk.
Sorry.
All right. You begin to go after it.
Yeah.
You begin to walk. Grania does not lead the way, because this is not a cardinal direction. Corvus guides you. I think so now that you've spotted the steam vent in the distance, you all just start to walk, and I think some thoughts occur as you guys are walking. And, you know, I think the whole party would start to think about this in various degrees because steam is not like a foreign alien thing to you. Every single one of you has boiled water. Every single one of you has eaten Mithdosian tagliatelle. And you know all about, you know, what it means to boil water. And the answer is steam does not travel that far. It almost immediately, you know, kind of dissipates into the air. So for steam to be visible above the relatively low-lying dunes of the Scourge, there's a couple huge ones, but most of them are less than 10 feet in height. So we're talking at least a 20, 30, 40-foot gust of steam being spotted, meaning either super high pressure or a very big volume. Also, Corvus, after you've walked about half the distance, you send up the crow to double check, and where you once saw a steam spout, there is one no longer. All of this leading you to believe these are like in brief, intense bursts, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then the steam fades, and then a different one bursts and then fades, and things like that.
Oh. That's terrifying.
I don't know. It's just how it works.
Well, the least I can say is be very mindful of where you're stepping. If there's anything like a vent that you don't see that you step on, that might emanate bursting hot steam and cook you alive.
God, that'd be so fucking funny. All right. You guys are walking through an area of very shallow dunes. We're talking 5-foot dunes, which are barely even dunes. And all of you, at the same time, begin to hear a distant whistling noise.
Oh, sorry.
Guys?
Are we in the low ground, Alex?
What was that?
Are we in the low ground?
Yeah, well, I mean, the high ground is 5 feet higher than where you're at, but yes, you are in the low ground.
Sure, I'm gonna go up 5 feet higher than I was before.
Okay, you take a few steps forward, climb up the little ridge. For the next about 1,000 feet, it's a series of small dunes and then about a 20-foot rise, and you can hear this. Now that at first it sounded like a distant whistling, but now that you're kind of straining your ears, you can realize that you've just like crossed kind of the sound threshold to begin hearing this, but it's not, you strain your ears, it's not really one whistling noise, it's more like multiple overlapping whistling noises.
Oh no. I see why people get impaled.
That's bad.
Then, that 20-foot ridge that's like
You know what?
1,000
I have no
feet
clue.
from you, that 20-foot, past that 20-foot dune, you see this time you actually hear the whistling sound gets higher pitched, and then you see a jet of steam burst 40 feet into the air over the dune, which means it's going about 60 feet high.
Well, I think the risk of us getting boiled alive in steam has gone down.
Yay?
It seems to announce itself.
Yeah, all 5 of you watch this, giant jet of steam spewing into the air.
Good God. Huh. Shall we go have a look-see?
Does it
Might
leave
as
any
well,
sort
I
of
guess.
like indent?
Indent?
Or like, is it just like a steam and then like
There's a 20-foot
Desert's
dune
flat again?
separating you from where the steam is emerging, so you can't see the emergence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you can keep walking. After about 2 minutes, you see this, like, the jet start to flag, and then in the span of about 5 seconds, it shrinks out of view completely. And as you approach that 20-foot dune, Corvus kind of leading the way. Corvus, you're starting to, like, push your way up this dune, and you hear this, like, from the far side of the dune, you hear, like, a scraping noise of metal on metal.
Oh. Well, I'm instantly trying to get eyes on that and alert the rest of the party.
Okay, you drop to your stomach and crawl up the last couple of inches onto the ridge and onto the dune. And down in the earth, so between this dune and the next one, there's this like depression. And in this depression, there's a little rocky promenade. And you can see several humanoid figures. It's pretty dark in the promenade compared to the surrounding desert, so you have to squint. And slowly you make out kind of like some type of like hat that's like square shaped, sort of like stovepipe. You see kind of like a frilled collar, long skinny arms, and it's not until you see one of them move that you realize these are not humans. They're not anything alive. There are 12 automatons with stovepipes and long halberds, and their backs kind of like seem to be almost like bubbling, and you see steam hiss out of them. Again, it's dark because of it being in the depression, and your eyes are slowly adjusting. And you start to make out visible pistons going up and down at a dizzying speed on the back, and steam jetting out the back of these. They're quiet in comparison to that colossal eruption. Even seeing them, you can only barely make out the like of a 12 different engines. At present, they are relaxing. One of them even stands right next to this large vent, which is still trailing little bits of steam up into the air.
Try to like turn around to the others, do like a finger in front of the mouth thing, and try to notify them to get down.
Okay.
How much do these things look like the things in the storybooks, Alex?
Pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. I will say these are about 80% more horrifying. But like there's some details to these. So one, they have very well rendered faces. They have, kind of like eyes that are made out of some sort of glass or crystal that have like illumination on the inside. They have these like stern looking faces. They have holes in their chest, which allows like, it's just kind of this like plunging pit that goes to the other side of the engine that's built into their back. Their waists are very, very thin, and these ones have rust all over them. At some time, the joints are fine, but it's mostly on the plates that form like their pauldrons and their gauntlets. Those are covered in rust. Sand is in all sorts of components of these things, and there's dried blood on most of their weapons.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, guys.
Two of the.
They noticed this yet?
No. You guys are all kind of like on your bellies on this little dune looking down. You also notice that two of them are working. Yeah.
Well, let me ask if we're gonna fight him.
Oh.
Before I do this.
Sure. Well, then, to finish up the description, there's also 3 large carts. The carts seem to move on their own, and they have heads resembling dragons hammered out of bronze. So, like, the front of the cart looks like a dragon head hammered out of bronze. And you see large bolts sticking out of the dragon mouths, basically.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Also, 2 of the watchmen have man catchers, which are these, like, long kind of spiked collary things, and they're dragging a skeleton between the 2 of them.
Okay. So I'll whisper to the other guys. It's a lot of them. You think we should take him?
I'd be more than happy
No.
to.
Getting conflicted messages here.
They look related to the bronze dragon. So we should probably kill them.
Granny is going to
do.
sign, shouldn't we conserve our resources?
Isn't this what we came here for?
Yeah, that's exactly why we came here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of assumed we'd fight one of them.
So did I.
Not,
But we can get the jump on them.
They look
Problem
more
is-
like a hive mind. Plus, they're all regular sized. I
Well, the
think we could
carts are
take
pretty
them.
big.
The carts?
Yeah, the carts?
If I chain lightning prepared, this would be a whole different story, but
Yeah, there's 3 self-moving carts
Oh,
with hammered out dragon heads out of bronze with bolts sticking out of their mouths.
yeah, I forgot about that one.
And they do have engines in them. They are moving on their own.
How close together are they?
From the front of the column, which is so mostly the watchmen aren't moving. It's mostly the carts because they're really fucking slow. From the front of the column to the back is probably 100 feet, so not very close.
So there's a lot of them.
There's 12 watchmen and 3 carts.
The cards look like they're on a predetermined path. Like the other ones, you see they're like, you say they're almost like, they almost have like their own personality.
I mean,
Like, yeah,
at
they're
present, they're all
lunching,
moving. Their
they're
wheels are
walking.
slowly turning in the desert sand. You do notice, though, you see all of them in profile because they're traveling perpendicular to you. So as I said, the front of this cart is these like hammered dragon heads. In the eye sockets, all of them have little bits of illumination, much like the Watchmen do where their eyes are.
Does that mean they're sentient or not? I'm pretty confused. What do you guys think we should do here?
I think we could take him. Combined with Corvus's.
The odds of
Orb.
us finding one on its own is pretty low, I think.
Yeah.
Letnius, you can do the weird suck orb thing, right?
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How large is that again?
You'd think I'd remember.
I think it's
Yeah,
20
I would.
feet. He's gonna correct
We
me,
have
though.
so much AoE stuff between us.
It
I
is,
think
20 feet sphere. It doesn't
Weren't
say
you
if
trying to
that's
get one of
20
these
feet
as a
diameter
specimen?
Or... Okay, no, it is radius.
well, yeah. But I mean, if we could take care of a majority of them, then like,
I guess.
They're not all gonna,
Is that-
unless
do you have
these
a
guys
map
are
for
way
this,
weaker
Arco?
than we thought.
Do you have a map first to plan it more easily on, Hakon?
Yeah.
That will help hugely. There we go. And we're like over here, I assume?
Yeah, well, way over here. Like, you're off the map. You're like
Oh,
200
okay.
feet away, but yeah.
I'm casting armor.
Alrighty.
I assume
How-
we're gonna fight these guys in the next
Yeah, how
hour.
tall are these ridges?
Each one goes up about 10 feet.
Okay.
what's the box thing right there?
It's a vent.
It's the vent, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mogus.
Mogus.
Sus.
Dude, I think the desert's kind of sussy.
I think it is. I think it vents all the time.
shut up.
He's right, though. He's right.
No, it is sussy, guys. No.
This is what they want you to
You
believe.
think, do we want one specimen of each? I don't know how we're gonna get this dragon thing back. I don't think it'll fit in the bag.
How they seem really large, right? These dragon things.
Yep.
These
They're pretty big
wagons?
carts, yeah. They're about the size of a normal merchant's cart, but with a giant, like the back is completely covered with wood, so you can't see what's in the compartment, and then the front is a dragon's head with a bolt in it.
Okay.
I think we should worry about that once we have one.
I have an idea. I could put those two over there, the carts. Could put them inside a force, like wall of force, like a cage. That they're not bothering us. They seem like the
Does
most effective
anyone
ones,
know
though.
what these guys would be immune to or vulnerable
I was gonna
to?
say, how do you guys think fire? I mean, they're in a desert. They're like working with hot steam.
Yeah, it makes me
Alex,
think that
what did the
because they're
what
made
did
of
the
metal, right?
storybook say about like what was ineffective about killing
You know,
them?
unfortunately,
Did it
the
even cover
storybook
that?
did not mention the resistances or vulnerabilities of the creature.
That's so unlucky.
What the? That's
It
crazy.
didn't
have a
talk
sending
about
stone,
how
right?
the
Can we
author
ask?
killed them.
It did talk about how the author killed them
With his
Let me
weapons.
guess.
with his weapons. Yep,
How-
that's very true.
No magic.
Incredibly
Nope.
based.
Well, that means they're not.
I mean, in that case, I could also just make Maximus go real fast.
We can make him big.
I always like that. And that. Why not
Just
both?
likes being big.
Well, if I make you fast, then I can't put up a wall of force. They're mutually exclusive since they require concentration on my part.
Oh. Well,
One of the carts turns towards the ridge you guys have been chatting on.
Granny waves the cart.
Yeah?
No,
Kidding, no.
The rest of
sabotage the entire mission.
the rest of them continue to go about their business, but the singular cart starts to look at you, and you can see that that thing is intelligent. You can see those little illuminated sockets, like where in the dragon's like head, seem to be like moving within their sockets, like scanning the ridgeline.
Okay, guys.
Out of all of the ones that were in the story, like are these like 2 different ones of 5? Like how many different like
I
Steam?
think there probably would have been 5 or 6 types, or probably no, like 7 types mentioned. Neither of these are particularly concerning.
Yeah, I'll tell
The one that
group
was the scariest was one which he described as 15 feet tall, made of pure steel, completely immune to his blows, and he ran away. He never killed one.
Right.
So, if I assume he didn't even have a magical weapon, or even silver for that matter. So if it's
He
not even,
might. And also this story, I don't know if we can believe any.
I'll shrug my shoulders. It's the best information we got.
Well, if the book is to go by, one of the automatons looks like a bronze woman.
Do any of them look like a bronze woman?
No, but this is only 2 of the types.
True.
It's he described it as a 9-foot tall bronze woman which fires steam out of her hands.
Giga Chad, Dowie.
They made 9 foot. Never mind. Don't answer that. Continue your plan.
What the?
Dominant species
No.
makes 9-foot tall woman. What did they mean by this?
Keep doing your planning.
big
The
woman.
Classic author's barely disguised fetish moment.
Literally not though.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure,
it's
how
the
come?
storybook author's fetish. Okay.
Yeah, how come? We can all...
This guy doesn't have ludonarrative dissonance. Someone kill him. Okay, no. What's your plan? This shit's moving. I'm trying to. They're about to move off screen. Do something or don't.
Okay, I think we just start off with a Zenius orb.
Okay, what's the
wait,
range
I
on
gotta get real
Zenius?
close
Okay.
to that, I think.
Zenius, let's get a bit closer and then 3, 2, 1, go? Question mark?
Okay, to be clear,
60 feet.
if you move
am I
even
gonna get
remotely off
big
this
or
ridge,
fast?
you're gonna be visible.
It's either fast or I can put both of those wagons into a cage. What do you guys prefer?
I
I
prefer
I think you just
fast.
start off with some damage.
Alright,
Oh.
Best.
okay. Zenius, you give the go. As soon as you
How
give the
far
go,
away?
I'll speed
I gotta
up.
get
200
60
feet.
feet to do orb.
You're 200 feet away.
200. Okay. Well,
We can also
it
ready
doesn't,
the action.
I can also do 6 or what is it? My movement is 30, so 30 and.
So I'm just gonna
Eldritch.
save you some time. Unless you have something that can go 200 feet, we're just rolling into initiative anyways. You're not getting surprised. You're too far away.
I can
Oh, okay.
make you. I can make you.
Right.
It doesn't cost much for me to make you invisible, and then as soon as you start, I'll take that as the go.
I
You
mean,
want
there's still
Zenius
the
to be
giant, like,
140 feet
Sand.
closer.
yeah. There's
I'm
also
gonna
the giant
have to
sand
orb
trail
and then
he'll
like
leave.
literally sprint away.
I forgot.
I
I
think
can't
we'll just
you
roll
don't have
into
your flying
initiative.
boots anymore.
No, I don't.
God damn it, those were so good.
Corvus never saw Zednius with
True.
the good boots.
Yeah.
Peak power
Never
Zednius.
did. But they were amazing.
Before the rest of the party caught up
Zednius
to
at-
his power curve.
100.
And I died.
Zenius at
and now I'm behind
99%
everyone.
power. Zenius at 100%. It's just him with it and without the shoes.
No, it's both
Uh,
with the shoes, but one time he can't use magic. Right.
I think we just roll into initiative. I don't think that I don't want to get that close by myself.
Yeah. I agree.
Unless we bring Maximus invisible with me. But that's a higher level spell, I think.
Yeah, they just hear clonk, clank, bink, bonk.
Blake's remembering
Could
the
I get
elemental
with an
I mean, I
instinct
feel
where he
like
got his
they would
ass
hear
beat.
me too, right? My stealth is also really bad
True.
when I'm in this.
It's true.
Could I realistically get within 100?
No, literally, you are as close as you can get because otherwise you're crossing the dune and then there's just nothing. There's just no cover. It's just a desert. It's just really easy to see you.
Do they have ranged crap?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Probably.
you can literally see there's the bolt sticking out of the mouth of the cart, and then also the watchmen all have crossbows at their waists. Nicely folded little hand crossbows.
I think we just start initiative and we hide behind the dune until they get closer.
Well,
they
you have to
don't- I don't
emerge
think
from
they're
behind the
moving
dune
closer.
to.
The
I
moving
think we
puppet-
just
Right, but
go
what if they see
slowly
us?
and do dodge action, right? Go 30 dodge, go 30 dodge until we get close enough to attack. We might get hit a few times, but it's
We don't
way-
have to approach them. We could just sit
better.
behind the dune and shoot arrows at them.
I don't
We
think
have to
anyone
get
has
really
arrows
close.
in the party other than you.
Yeah, my
Maximus
range
does.
is.
I do.
My effective range is about 120 feet.
I have 14 bolts, but yeah, 120 feet is where I can start doing damage.
All right, fair enough.
Well,
Roll into initiative.
So
is
run
someone
dodge, run
standing
dodge.
over the? Is someone standing over the ridge and waving at them?
It's Granny's time to
Um,
shine.
Dimension door, 2 of us in.
Okay. Granny,
Yeah,
Is that an
yeah, I'll
option?
do
Oh,
it.
do
you stand
I'll
up?
start.
Wait.
Yeah, I'll peek over the
Granny,
ridge
what are you
and
gonna do?
Okay.
start wild and shooting arrows.
Sure. Roll into initiative as
God.
Prometheus fully emerges from cover.
Least useful tactical advantage ever, Saj.
It wasn't really that much of a
Okay.
tactical advantage.
Yeah,
We're too far away.
too far
Yeah,
away to
like-
do anything. We
like,
gave up
yeah,
the
it
advantage.
feels
Unless we
so
have a
bad
character with like
when
big
you-
speed to tunnel us over.
Yeah, like,
Even
it
though I
just
don't
feels
think
so
that would work
bad
in
that
sand.
we could have had something here, but unfortunately we don't.
Yeah.
Initiative, skill
If only
checks.
guns existed, man.
They do.
They do.
True. If only you guys had guns.
Is initiative a skill check?
That's a great question. I think it is. Yeah.
So we have good advantage.
Yeah. True.
Wait, what? Oh, that's what.
Jesus Christ!
Oh
You
my
got the
God.
only worst thing you could have gotten, Granny. That's actually
Where is
fucking
it?
depressing.
I always miss where the fuck you do initiative.
Okay.
Fine.
Did I roll it twice? I
Yeah,
thought
roll
I.
it twice.
Come on.
Yeah.
I clicked disadvantage.
Oh, I thought I did, but because I
No,
clicked
no,
on
no.
the guy. But
You
You just have your token click still.
Oh, I gotta
Reroll
click
into
again.
Yeah, you do. You can only go lower as well, so it's back to an 18. Okay. All right, Primus, you act first.
all right.
Wait, is that
I-
All these bozos are. Oh,
What?
So, what's your dex, Ednius?
Uh,
we're the same.
14.
Okay, so I go first. I have 16.
Primus?
man, I really wish I had a horse right now.
I'll start spending my
Give me 10
action
minutes, I
to
can
cast
summon
Find
Thorn.
Steed.
Yeah?
Hey.
No.
Then take your turn.
Jeez,
this when it's
all
your
right.
turn.
And on with it, bozo!
It has been 5 seconds.
I know.
I'm going to
Yeah,
go
6 seconds.
30 feet, and then I will take the dodge action.
Okay.
So brave.
That is very brave. Corvus.
I think it's better to start as soon as I can, so I'm gonna haste Maximus.
Well, too late.
You're hasted,
And
Maximus.
I'm gonna be real slow after this.
What do you mean? Last an
You get a
minute?
level of exhaustion when it ends.
You don't.
Wait, what?
You
Yeah.
do.
That's not a thing.
No, that's not a thing in 5e.
Is it not?
No, you're stunned for one
Oh,
round.
it's one
Yeah,
round.
you lose one round
Oh,
of
you
fatigue.
can't move or take action.
Haste.
Okay.
I also thought that was a thing.
Because if
I
it
don't
gave
know
me
why.
exhaustion,
And
I don't
plus
think I
2 to
missed
my-
that.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Yes.
And
okay,
plus
cool.
2
You
to my
cast
AC.
Haste.
Holy shit.
Are you moving at all, or are you just staying behind the ridge?
I'm staying prone where I am.
Okay, yeah, you're in full cover. All right, Xenius.
Don't do this to me again, guys.
Is this the fight where we make him big?
I feel like it is.
Also, Okay. I don't know how long does
We might as
enlarge
well.
reduce last. I don't.
You should go read it.
I don't. I only have this scroll on my
Oh,
board.
okay,
I don't
then
have
I will
the
go
actual
read it.
spell.
Enlarge, reduce 5e. I believe it lasts 10 minutes. Let's see.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was 1.
We'll see.
Oh. This is crazy.
1 minute.
Wait. Should I have? Wait. Who needs their concentration?
Me, but I have
Me.
the feet.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if I do this, I can't orb, or he gets small again.
Just make him big, bro.
Okay,
Orb
I'm
is
just gonna make you big.
concentration.
Huge.
Yeah,
Honestly,
orb is.
wait, no,
Maximus-
don't debate it. Orb is more important
Maximus,
than big. Orb
you
is more
swell.
important than big.
Orb is more better.
Maximus,
No.
you swell.
Too late.
You
I'm
are
big.
big man,
I'm big.
Maximus. Big man. Armor also gets bigger because it explicitly says that in the spell, which it didn't in previous editions. So you're so big, big man. Your attacks do extra 1d4. Add that to your sheet. Advantage on strength checks. Advantage on strength saving throws. Yeah. Also, your carry capacity is like fucking disgusting, but we'll talk about that later if it comes up. Okay,
Okay.
Maximus, your turn.
Only for 1 minute. I can't see how it would be.
I don't know if it, maybe he wants to
Huge.
pick up one of the fucking bolt carriers because he probably could. Maximus.
Let's see. I'm just gonna have to remember to roll a d4 every time. Yeah, I'm
Move
gonna
80
charge.
feet.
I guess that would be 120 feet.
It would be, yeah. Actually, it could
I'm
be
just
180
dashing. I'm
if
not
you
doing
use
any
your
of this
second action.
nonsense.
If you use all your
Well, in that
dashes,
case,
it'd be
it's-
180.
Yeah, because you
Oh,
get a
that's
bonus action,
right.
which
I
you
have a
use to dash.
second. I have a second action.
Oh wait,
that's
no, no,
right.
no. Wait, your movement
is
would be
crazy.
no, wait, it's more than that. Hecko, let's use our brains here.
Oh, holy shit,
Normally
'cause
he'd
my
move,
movement is-
it's
my
30,
movement is
doubled to
doubled.
60. It's a dash, doubled to 60. Oh no, it is 180. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was having a stroke.
then a
Yeah,
dash.
you're right.
Dashing doesn't double
180.
it, it just lets you do it
Yeah,
again.
it's just 180. Okay. So that actually gets you on the map, like properly.
Huge.
Okay, yeah, you sprint
Um,
literally the entire distance to there, like fully on the map, not some distance away, but just on the map. Okay, you're a big guy. Oh, you.
This is great.
Okay, cool. Every single
Hitting
bolt
these
thrower
bozos
shoots
with
at
a
you.
fucking
Bing.
Bring it
bing,
on.
Bing. Bing.
miss,
Bing.
miss, 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 miss,
Bing.
miss,
Bing. Bing. Bing.
miss.
Bing. I think, wait,
too
no.
good.
I think
More
that's
than
one too many.
25 AC?
I think that's one too many. Yeah. How does 25 AC miss? Or
Uh,
25 miss?
Because he said
Plus
so.
2 AC.
That
Wait,
means
how
you
much
have
AC you
24.
have?
That still misses. I mean, sorry, that still hits. Your AC is 22 right now.
Oh,
With plus
my
2,
bad.
it's
Sorry.
Wait, you have
I
a.
don't know why that
How
wasn't
is my
equipped.
AC higher than yours without what?
his AC is
It's
just
not.
his
My
AC is only
shield wasn't
22.
equipped for some reason.
Oh, no shield.
it's
equipment.
25.
Okay.
How? It was just
Wait, why?
2 seconds ago. It was 22.
Okay, so the plate armor plus 1, that's
Yep.
19.
It's 19.
Yes.
defensive fighting style, which is
is
20.
plus 3.
Cloak and ring, right?
Oh, okay. It's a plus 1 shield. Ah, okay. All right. Clang, clang,
Plus
clang,
one
clang,
shield,
clang.
Yes. Yes. It is.
Alrighty.
And no, my AC is 27 because of haste.
Wait, what?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, because you run
25
protection.
for haste?
Haste is.
Do they
haste
have
is
to
a
crit you?
Haste is a plus 2 AC.
Yeah.
Yeah, haste is a plus
Yeah,
2
crit
AC.
you. Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Oh yeah.
They
Cloak
can
of
only hit you if they
protection.
crit.
Wait.
And you get advantage on deck saves.
Where does
that's
the last
pretty
one
easy.
AC go?
The AC. The
19
AC
from
Cloak
adds
of
up.
protection.
Does he have a ring?
No. He has a cloak of
Does he have a
protection.
ring
That
or
put
a
him at
cloak?
24.
Fighting style protection.
He already has that. That's how I get him to 20. I'm losing my mind. You're all giving the wrong answers. Let me look at this shit.
Wait, no. He gets to 20.
Okay, no. This is the calculation. 19 armor, plus 1
don't have my
fighting
breath.
style, plus 3 from shield, plus 1 from cloak. That is 24, not 25.
Does he-
Not
does
that
he
it
also have
matters
a ring?
here, but it is 24, not 25.
What about
Does he also have a
shield?
ring?
I said the shield. I'm gonna kill myself. No, he doesn't have a he doesn't have a ring.
Okay, no ring.
It's 24.
Well, yeah, then it's
I,
24, so it's 26 with the haste. then.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so the
So they still have to crit.
yeah. Like I said, it doesn't matter here, but it is a different number.
I
Okay.
think we should roll for crit confirms at this point.
I think that's honestly quite reasonable. Okay, so the Watchmen are going to move. All of them in a very... You realize that the crossbows that they have at their waist are kind of like built into their like thighs, and they simply reach down, socket their hands into it, and then they can fire pretty easily. So that is a total of 12 attacks. So I'm just gonna roll 12d20. Okay, that's a hit.
That's one. Some might call that hip fire.
That's a bad joke. It's just 7
It is.
piercing damage on Maximus. All right, Grania.
Those are little blink boys too. 7.
Mm-hmm.
So we're 200 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go. Okay, I just dash.
Okay, great. You sprint full speed, and that brings you to 140 feet.
Wow.
Wow. Premius.
I don't know. Being at 23 AC might not be enough.
That's crazy.
Do I stone skin myself?
Does this fight seem that hard?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then,
After seeing that we've got a Giga Tank Maximus, I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be like, all right, whatever, and then go after me. So
there is a truth spoken to this.
Yeah, they are
count
smart.
Probably.
Don't count your chickens, guys.
yeah, I'm gonna stone skin myself
Okay, that's an action.
and move
So,
30 feet.
all right, coolio. I trust that you know what stone
Wait,
skin
aren't
does.
you
Is stone skin's concentration? It is. Okay.
Yes, it is. That's why it was either stone skin or
But didn't
shield.
you
of
Shield
Faith.
of Faith?
Yeah.
Yeah, so shield of faith no longer is
All right.
active.
Corvus.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Moving. I'm standing up, which costs me half my movement.
Yep.
Then using my action to dash forward.
45
So
feet.
I spent 45 feet closer, and then I plump down the floor again to get cover from the crossbows.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I veto that
No.
as a decision and a mechanic, and I'm pretty sure we had this conversation at the very start of the campaign during the.
I thought that was only if you're actually like intending, like you're not allowing us to attack while prone.
No. It's that now there's a movement cost associated with falling to your stomach, because if not, the optimal play always is to do that. There's literally no downside unless
How
you're.
much movement cost is there?
It'll be half your movement as well.
Well, in that case, I'll spend that much less
Okay.
to move
30
and
feet?
get on the ground. Yeah.
That's fair. And you also get all the penalties of firing. to the
Alex,
ground.
I figured it out.
Yeah.
The enchanted iron armor is +2 and up
Oh,
+1.
well, there you go. That makes sense. Yep, that tracks. Where'd you get that?
Yeah, right. You got the.
He cheated.
I bought
No,
it.
no. I think he got it from a dwarf
Wait,
or
didn't
something.
he just buy it at the beginning of the arc?
What? He bought it? That's crazy. How much
Yeah, I
was
bought
that?
it. Yeah,
Jesus
I bought
Christ. Must have been like
Yeah,
thousands.
it was
of
the tattered
6,000.
armor.
Ooh.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's the like enchanted iron armor is what I have written down.
That's based. Okay, Zednius, what are you doing?
I'm gonna move my way 60 feet up.
Okay. I'm just gonna put you next to Greg.
But
you're the
not
same distance.
not next to. Okay, as long as we're not actually next
No,
to
you're
each
not
other.
actually. You're
Or
all
an AoE's gonna
real
hit
far
us.
away. They definitely don't have AoE. Maximus, what are you doing?
Into the fray.
Alrighty.
Do
So,
I
just
have,
as a
do
reminder,
I have the
haste action
bonking-
can't be used for like a full attack action. It can only be used for a single attack.
Yeah, it
Oh,
gets me
whose-
4 attacks.
Whose boss
then
theme
do
is
I
this?
have-
This
do I
is
have
from
It's Ludwig.
Dark Souls.
Holy Blade.
Yeah, Ludwig.
right.
I've never played that game. but
Yes,
I've
I
watched
can
lots of people
attack
play
3
it, and I
times
love
now.
that song, dude.
It's a good game.
It's a great game. It's fun to watch because I've never played it.
All right. Fuck it. 4 attacks into the guy just right in front of me. That one.
You're committing all yours in
I
advance.
You know what? No, I suppose not.
All
I
right.
think these guys are going down like tissue paper, man.
Ah, shit.
the guy about to go
Yeah,
down
we'll
like
find
the
out. Badonk.
Okay.
That,
so that
probably misses.
It does, yeah. The Watchman kind of like his back starts to pump with steam, and he dodges to the left as you boom, slam into the earth.
Roll higher than a 2 next time.
That probably doesn't.
It does hit. However, as you clang against the armor, your mithril bounces off the metal that forms this watchman.
Oh my god.
Guys.
That ain't good.
He's right behind me,
how
isn't
big
he?
is this watchman?
It's like 6 feet tall, including the stovepipe hat. So it's actually like 5'1".
And what's it made out of?
No clue. Looks like iron, but clearly it's not
but
because
metal
no
of some
iron would
kind,
ever handle. Oh yeah. It's made out of metal.
What's its weapon?
Run away!
It has a pole arm.
You said it has like a
a
halberd,
bill axe specifically.
and is that one like fused into it, same
Correct.
as the?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Technically,
That's unfortunate.
the crossbow is less fused to it because the way the bill axe work is its hand literally attaches to the bill axe, like they are one piece of machinery. The crossbow is built into its thigh and it reaches its left hand down and kind of sockets on the crossbow. So that's less secure than the bill axe.
How about you just pick it up and run away?
So true.
Huh. That's not actually a terrible idea. My carrying capacity is increased.
Yeah, I don't want to go do the
Although
exact
it's a
math, but I think it's somewhere in the thousands of pounds.
I think
Wait,
that
why
they're
are
going to
we-
try and chase us down, but the
Why
idea
are
is
we
just that he
not
can't hurt
censoring
it.
to
But
fight them? Oh, you can't hurt it at all?
Not with a Mithril Warhammer.
I
not-
can't hurt it. The Mithril Warhammer did nothing. Maybe it's just that it's bludgeoning. But you
But I
know,
was wondering
bludgeoning
if it's
tends to
maybe
do
just an
okay
AC
against
thing.
metal.
No. It
Well,
made contact
I
with
hit
the
it,
Watchman's body. Yeah, it didn't even dent it. It just hit it and rebounded.
Oh, damn.
Switch to
I was
your
trying to think
lance.
of if I could.
Lance is Mithril too, I think.
It's just Mithril 2,
Sure,
and
we could test
lances
damage
are
types.
like
Yeah, switch your
incredibly
damage
nerfed.
types.
If it's
I could toss you a dagger that's
okay.
maybe would do something. Surely Elven. would work.
I didn't. Oh no, I did. I did bring it. Okay, sure. I'll try the lance this
Okay.
time.
As your free item interaction, you drop your
See.
Warhammer and pull your lance off your back like a fucking like Monster Hunter character. This massive fucking lance in melee. Yeah, and you can make an attack with your hasted
Wait,
action.
am I like? Wait. Okay, because I'm big.
Yeah.
Is this like? Would I not have the disadvantage of using a lance?
An interesting
I
argument,
normally would
but the
get?
lance is also bigger, so it's actually more unwieldy. So no, you still have a disadvantage. However,
you're
you
right.
rolled a 25, so it doesn't
But
really
I
matter.
got a
You
25.
stab at one of the joints of the creature, hoping that maybe, you know, by like jamming it in there, that is a different material. And you jam your lance in, the creature starts to like lower its arm, its gears start to like churn in its shoulder, and you think that if you don't pull out your lance, the tip will snap off.
Yep, pulling it out.
All right, it had no effect.
I'll pull the lance out.
Yeah, you pull it out, the arm closes again, and yeah, that did not. All right.
Yeah.
That is all your actions.
I think
so
Magic Squad.
He has
That'll be
one more
Magic
attack. I
Squad.
thought. He has
no,
four?
he had to switch out weapons. That took his normal action, and then that took
You said
his
that was a
item
free
interaction.
item.
Yeah, that
You
took your
just
item.
said it
Yeah,
was
no.
a free item
Dropping your
interaction.
Warhammer was the free item interaction. So it would have been movement, then action, attack, and then free item interaction to drop the Warhammer, and then oh wait, I don't even think you would have been able to
I have
make that
another
last
action.
attack. No, but wasn't your
Oh no, I did.
hasted
Yeah,
action used on the
that's what
Mithril
that-
Lance?
Was it?
Wait, how many attacks do you get per turn normally
I guess
without
it was.
haste?
3.
Is that accurate?
3.
Oh, that's fine then. Yeah, you use the hasted action to take out the lance.
Level
And you,
11 is when you get
yeah,
it.
that's perfect. Yeah, you took out the hasted action, took out the lance, stabbed. Okay. Anyways, that is all your actions though. So, clockwork,
Shit.
bolt thrower. They are going to fling.
Can I shout something? Like,
Sure. Yeah.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Flourish.
Big deal. Yeah. I'm gonna look back towards the magic boys and just shout, "Try and sever one of their weapon arms."
a good idea. All right, 6
that'll
bolts
be it.
fire at you. All of them clatter off of your armor, and
Plink, 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 plink.
the ones that are in melee with you will attack you
Descends
with
the
their bill axes. The rest of them will all shoot you with crossbows, and not a single one hits. Though I will say the dents are actually starting to catch up because this dense mithril. To be clear, mithril, or no, you're wearing normal iron now, so this is
Yes.
definitely getting dented for sure.
It's enchanted.
Correct.
This stuff is. Remember, this is plus.
I'm aware. Yes, it's an enchanted piece of
So the
iron
shield's
armor.
getting dented, but is the armor still
It
getting
is
dented?
indeed getting dented. Yeah.
No.
Dentke.
Obviously, you can survive many rounds of this, but eventually it would start
that's
to
gonna be a
rend the
bitch to get
durability
out.
of the item. Grania,
Yeah.
your turn.
Me using my cutting spell to cut the arm off.
Yeah, your many cutting spells.
Not many cutting spells.
Anti-mending.
Worth a shot.
Such as.
Yeah, just dash up.
Okay, great.
Unmending.
You are now 80 feet away, which I think, does that get you on the map yet? No, that'd be 45. Okay, you're 80 feet away. I'm just going to rewrite this as 80 feet for my own sake. Okay, cool. Prometheus.
Dash
Elias. Okay, cool.
dash 80, and I guess invoke flame tongue word.
Okay, your blade ignites in fire. You watch as about half of the watchmen turn their illuminated eyes towards you.
Oh no.
Corvus.
Half movement, get up.
Okay.
This is not worth it, bro.
The
They're not even looking at you.
Not no more.
Dash towards Maximus. This
Okay,
time
60 minus
not
15.
going frog after.
So you go 45, so you are 125?
25, yeah.
Okay. And Zenius.
have the big guys shot yet?
Yeah. 12 times.
Okay, I only saw one attack, one NPC attack, but that's fine. Oh, they're the other D20. Okay.
Yeah, each attack twice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go forward 30, which puts me at 110, and I think that I can shoot from there.
Should be able to, yeah. Though I will say, when I'm saying 110, this is measuring your distance from this little hill right here, this fella right here. So
Oh,
anything that's to the, up, down, and to the right of this would be within 120 feet, but everything to the left, you'd have to get closer.
okay. Then I have to dash. I'll get
Oh, okay.
to 80.
Alrighty. Okay. Maximus. Blows are raining down on your shield and your armor, mostly projectiles.
Oh hell yeah.
Um,
That's the spot.
well, you said the crossbows are less attached to them.
Correct, yeah, yeah. It's basically just a socket joint that they, like, take the stump of their hand and then socket it into the crossbow.
Can you like just start like ripping them
Ripping
apart,
them
or
off,
at
yeah.
least attempting to?
Go Hulk mode
That
on
seems
them.
unlikely if
Yeah, it's not
they're
literal
like
superhuman
gears, we're
strength.
about to
He's
snap
equivalent in
a-
strength to, like a big bear.
Mm,
So I guess
Big
it is
bear.
superhuman by
He is a-
definition,
Yeah,
but,
I mean-
not like
he
Hulk.
is already a big bear, though.
Strange.
Mm.
Continue your turn.
Their gears were about to snap a mithril lance.
Right, you should stick your
so
fingers
I
in
find that unlikely. That's a bad idea. These stovepipe hats of theirs made out of the same material.
Their entire body is made out of the same material.
All right. And there's steam emanating from these
Their backs and their chest holes.
stovepipes.
Throw water.
the
on
hole-
them.
That's too many holes.
You could stick your hand in their chest, see what happens.
Rip out
Yeah,
the
I'm good.
metal
I
heart.
think I'm good on
What
that.
if you try hitting their big chest hole?
Of the lance in there.
That's like, is it like a grate that covers their
No,
chest?
no,
Or is
open.
it just like,
In fact,
Straight
as I
up a
said
hole.
before, you can see like rust and bits of sand all over them, and their chest hole is not immune to this. The inside's rusted. You can see like sands and stuff. You can also see, I will say, now that you're this close, like before you guys were a bit far off, literally looking into the chest hole, you can see a raging inferno. Like that is the core of the engine. Like that's where shit's being burned. So you can literally see like a fire in there.
Huh. Can I feel the heat coming off of them
No,
from
not
like
really.
where
They're
I'm
not that
standing,
hot.
or is it not quite that hot?
They're not that hot. They're just little guys.
Do any of you guys have create water?
Nope.
No. Shucks.
What are you doing, Muscle
That'd be-
Man?
What about overheating though?
Ah. That's what I was trying to like think of, is if I could stuff something into their, like, wherever the steam comes out of, and then the steam
Pocket
just
sand
couldn't.
them.
I don't even want to imagine how long that would take. And I don't have a shovel.
You
I
have
guess I will
giant
try
hands.
and just. I guess I will try and steal one of their crossbows.
Okay, make a contested. You have
This is
strength at
it's a-
advantage.
If it's a socket joint, I should just be able to pop it
Yeah,
out.
twist and pop. Yeah, strength test, strength check at advantage. I will say,
It's neutral
At
because he has
advantage.
one
Oh,
exhaustion.
true.
It is neutral. I do have.
These
Yep.
things have been talking, but not in a language you understand. But like you can see somewhere in along their throat, an arcane glyph kind of flares up, and they have been there has been noises.
Or
It's
just go see the glyph.
it just means nothing to you.
They've been chatting.
Yeah.
They're probably saying like
contested
the
strength check.
Protectrons in Fallout. They're just like, halt.
I got a 7.
Yes,
They
you
could be
did.
saying slurs for
I
us
will
flesh
say,
types.
That's really
it
bad.
is possible. As you reach down and you start to like, literally all you need to do is rotate it to the left and then pull. That's all you need to do to steal one of their crossbows. It's not very hard. And the whole mechanism is built into it. Now, how you would fire it, you have no fucking idea. There's no trigger mechanism because it's designed for these things. But you do reach down, grab at one of them and start to like wrestle with the watchman. You think it's feasible. 100% you could do it. Just not right now. You do have a second action
Well,
though.
Fortunately, I have a second action.
Yeah, certainly.
So
yeah.
I'll just
Yeah, as you know, dozens of
Try
crossbow bolts
again,
strike
I
you, you just
suppose.
continue to fight this one watchman for his glove, basically. Okay, that's
That's a
enough. You
bit
rotate it
better.
and then you tear it off, and nothing
okay.
breaks or anything. It just kind of slides off his arm, and the watchman, for about half a second, pauses and then goes back to swinging his bill axe at you. And in your hands, you still have a free item interaction. In your hands, you now have this basically gauntlet designed to be slid onto the hands of these watchmen and somehow internally fired.
okay.
If he
I would
intends to
imagine it would
use it,
take
does
like
it
an
grow
int
to the
check
size of
or
him?
something.
Nope, it does not.
It would take like an int check or something to figure it out. If it's even
Maybe.
possible.
You know what? If we're doing it in real time, that's wisdom, baby. That's street smarts. That's just vibes. There's no book reading on this. Roll me a wisdom check.
All right, my wisdom's not terrible.
No, it's not. You got a type of applied intelligence. Yeah, you reach down, you stick
16.
your giant fucking sausage fingers into this socket, like, because you're enlarged right now. You just stick a finger in there and just start like poking around and shit, and you accidentally press a little lever, and a crossbow bolt whizzes out of the
yourself
thing,
in the eye.
flying distantly across the area. But you know how it works now.
How do they
If it
reload?
doesn't fit, you must.
It has
equip.
an auto feeder.
Oh, dude, sick. Okay.
Yeah. You're not
my
sure how
next
many
turn
bolts are in it
about
because
to
it's
go- about to
all
go
contained
bonkers.
inside. But yeah, next turn will be crazy. All right,
That's
the
fine, I'm
bolt
sure
throwers
I'm sure I
all
can
turn
steal
to
another one.
face towards the only person who has cast a spell visibly is Primius, right?
I didn't cast a spell. No.
You got stone.
Oh, your sword. Sorry, your sword is what I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
Okay.
flame sword, yeah.
All right, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks on Primius.
One hit.
Alrighty. Clang.
That is 6 damage.
Alrighty. Then the Clockwork Guardian Watchmen are going to attack Maximus.
I roll
Clank, 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 clank,
concentration
clank.
check.
Oh yeah, concentration check. True.
Clank, 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 clank.
Clank, 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 clank.
Do they
Radiant.
literally need a nat 20 to hit me?
Yeah, they do. You have 27 AC.
Hmm.
He's not impressed.
Well, Granny has 13, so it's funny because whenever you guys meet an encounter that can actually hit Maximus, it's going to kill the rest of the party in about 2 seconds,
Yeah.
I'm going to move
which is
up.
not a good situation to be in.
I want to move up.
We got
60
off-tank
feet,
Frenius coming
but I
in.
want to try to angle
Off
myself
tank.
like more towards this direction. To block.
Okay. Yeah, I think since... Okay, let me measure.
Sure,
So
I'm quite large.
40 feet puts you onto the map, so you can get to here, like actually on the map, Dota, and you have 40 feet of movement. What do you want to do with that?
Oh, okay.
So, or if you just want to
go-
do normal movement without action, you could move 10 more feet.
Yeah, normal movement then.
Okay, great.
And then move. Yeah.
Perfect. You move behind that rock formation. It's just tall enough to cover you up.
And then
Holy moly.
because it's also tall enough, I can't like peek over, shoot, and then hide behind.
You can certainly shoot these guys up on the ridge and here, but they can also shoot at you because you would only have half cover because they're elevated 20 feet above
How much
you.
is half cover?
Half cover is +2 AC.
Yeesh.
Yeah, it's a yeesh angle. Luckily, you have ways to escape if they all target and try to murder you.
I'm gonna use the dodge action and just wait and see.
Based. Cremius.
Yeah, I'll move 40 feet onto the map.
Alrighty. You're where you're at right now, but you're not 80 feet away.
Okay. Let's see. What do I do?
Keep up.
I guess.
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
a pretty good guess.
I don't know.
You could be melee then?
I used my movement.
You only went 40 feet. You have 20 feet more.
I have 30 feet.
Oh. You have 70 feet of movement? Okay, I don't care.
60-foot dash.
Sure.
No, I have 30 feet of movement, and then I can dash to move 30 more.
Oh. Okay, well then... Oh, you're right, yeah. And entering the map took 40 feet, so you have 20 feet left. Right?
I'd have to dash to get on the map.
Yeah.
So I have 20 more feet.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I would duck. There's no room behind the rock with Grania, is there?
No, she's taking it up.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's my rock.
I'm behind this bush.
Get out!
My rock. Or you could just charge into melee.
Is this... Get hit with the orb? No, thank you.
You have PTSD from that elemental incident.
Of course I do. What the fuck? Everyone watched as I died.
I wonder
You
why.
didn't die. Anyways, just move. Just move wherever you're going.
All right, I'll go right there.
Shrug
Great.
off.
Corvus, your turn.
Right. I should be pretty much exactly in range to fireball. Actually, no,
125
step
feet
up.
from the map.
Yes, it's 150 feet range.
That's big. That's big. So if you're 125 feet from this cliff, that means you could fire up to this line. The red line.
Okay.
You should fireball Maximus.
And you think it's a square, right?
Yeah, for simplicity's sake.
So it's.
Although fireballing me actually wouldn't be terrible.
Also, he has Sculpt
I am
spell, so it
fireballing
wouldn't matter at all.
Maximus.
Oh, yeah.
One
those
square up,
bets,
one
and-
square up.
One square up.
I'm an
Oh,
evocation wizard. I just simply choose not to hit him.
Evo.
Evo 2016. Okay. Yep. You
Base.
lift your
Yep.
finger, Corvus. A thin line extends
God.
from it, and the world explodes.
Meh.
Roll your damage.
I'm on it. I just need to find the thing that's. There's a lot of things that say fire. I need to find the one that's.
Whoa.
That is a really
afterwards.
big number. That is a really good
That
roll.
is
That's
that is
crazy.
a crazy. That is a crazy fireball.
Okay. Any
That
crazy
is an
evocation
absurd roll.
modifiers, rerolls, fucked up elemental features, anything, or is this just 40 damage?
Oh, that's next level. So that's just quote unquote just 40 damage. The flat added through my modifier is already on there.
Okay. So what follows over the course of the next 2 seconds is the fireball goes off. The air fills with sand and dust, and by the time and then you hear a series of like secondary explosions, and by the time all of that sand and dust fades, there is no watchmen that are still functioning. Now, notably, they don't explode. Whatever internal forces could not overcome the strength of their construction. They are just like offline and singed completely black.
Huge.
As for the bolt
I think
throwers,
that's the
not so
hugest
much.
fireball
So
I've ever
those are going to be
used.
some saves for sure. Actually,
That's crazy.
All right, that's
9
impressive.
enemies down. Oh, that's the dream of every vacation wizard.
indeed it is. One time during
Except they're now all gonna focus me.
yes, during a dwarf campaign, Ethan got I think probably the most
yes.
gratifying evocation wizard moment of all time. There was this like cauldron of like bubbling kind of
right.
like acid, and he struck it, and all the gases ignited. So not just one room, but basically the entire cave complex blew up at once and killed. I mean, it did like 550 damage or something.
It's
disgusting.
like when in that.
I think that
that
holds
one
the
Baldur's
most
Gate-
damage done.
Yeah, it does.
It's like in that one area in the Baldur's Gate Underdark where there's all the mushrooms.
I know what you're talking
Yeah, it
about.
is. Zedny, it's your turn.
Do not orb. Do not.
No,
orb.
I don't need to. These guys are
Do
soft.
not go.
I'm gonna orb.
In time.
You
orb.
hit my funny bone, Blake.
I'm dashing.
Okay, you're on the map after 40 feet of movement.
Okay.
Got 20
so I
feet
have
left.
20 more.
You're
5, 10. 15.
Wait, I still had all my movement left,
true. Yeah.
but I would like to drop to the floor.
Okay, that's smart. In this case, that is
You'd
very
like to
smart.
throw it back.
Disadvantage on the ranged attacks is huge.
Correct. It's true. Okay, Maximus, you feel as fire consumes everything in front of you and just barely dodges your face, and this is probably the most intense flashback to the third Boyer's Revolt you've ever had in your life, because war mages and evocation wizards are loved in the legions, and they love to burn villages. And as a vanguard unit, often you would lead the charge. And so as your unit charged forward, fireballs would detonate in front of you, breaking rebel formations. And sometimes you got a little bit ahead of yourself, and a very lucky evocation wizard would spare you by sculpting the flames around you. And in this case, basically the first entire front half of your body is just like barely kissed by the flames.
I hope I didn't get the eyebrows.
He has a helmet on, luckily.
Behind the helmet, it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, it's all right.
Or the mustache.
Well, I have this. What's the bad thing that happens when you use? Oh, I have a shield. Never mind.
Also, those bodies
okay,
cannot be
yeah.
stepped over because they aren't like corpses in the traditional human sense. The automatons are still there, still standing, rigidly still. They're just not active. So you do have to either step around them or treat them as difficult terrain.
How tall am I?
I think he has.
I think you're
80
9
of
feet.
movement.
No, I know. I'm just letting him know. It's mostly for the other people, because like for you guys, that's not difficult terrain. It's impassable. But for him, he's big enough and strong enough. They're just difficult terrain.
I see.
Can we do it?
Fuck. Let's shoot. I'm gonna aim my stolen crossbow at the big bloodied guy on the hill, the one like in a straight line with me.
Yeah, just make 3 dex checks.
See if this works.
Or I guess 4, because you're using the hasted thing too.
Ding, 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 ding.
That would be really funny.
Would I not be proficient with this as part of the martial weapons proficiency? I mean, isn't it just a crossbow at this point?
No, it's not. Not really, no. You're holding up basically... So one, it's a fully contained mechanism that's shaped kind of like a hand. Then you're pressing a button rather than pulling a trigger. It's also so small that it's like barely even holdable in your arms. So I'd say you're definitely not proficient in
Alright,
this.
fair enough.
Even wearing it as a
Considering
glove, I
you're
don't think you'd be
gigantic as well
proficient.
Alright. Bink, bonk, bink, bonk.
Okay, that is 2 hits at the start, 2 misses at the end, and they deal 1d8 plus your dex mod.
Huge.
Oh shit.
So 2d8 plus 4.
I wonder why the mithril didn't work.
All right.
14 damage.
The bolts slide into the gaps. So similar to all these other creatures, the token is misleading. The art is misleading in this case. These are fully constructed of bronze in the case of these things, rather than whatever material the Watchmen are made out of. So this slides into the joints, and you hear the gears start to like churn and eventually snap the bolts. But it seriously caused some damage and friction within the thing. So it damaged it. Okay.
I have movement
Yeah.
still,
You do.
and I'm going to use it to Rarga Blarga.
Oh, you're standing on the grate?
I guess I'll just.
That's a good idea.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no, I'm not doing that.
Alright.
Can I
Average
move
Alex
there?
thing is to ask
I
if
have-
you're standing on the grate and then be like, it does nothing.
That was just
I have.
him fucking with
Yeah,
you.
I'll go there.
Clockwork Bolt Thrower turn. They are going to. The one next to you, Maximus, is going to make a strength check to shove you, which is neutral for you. It's gonna slam its body against you, the
Is it-
entire, 2,000-pound thing of machinery.
Is it trying to shove me towards the grate?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Guys.
I probably don't want to fail this, right?
Probably not, I would imagine.
God damn it. Alright, let's hope I can beat a 20.
At neutral. You did
I
indeed.
did.
You
Wait, you don't
guys
have
all
advantage?
watch as Maximus, this towering, 10-foot tall, quasi-giant, just like starts to wrestle this 2-ton piece of machinery, and they're just like locked at a standstill. The other two are gonna fling bolts at Zednius's face.
Why specifically his
Hit,
face?
miss.
Alrighty. 13 strikes your cheek,
So beautiful.
drawing
Can't
blood.
And I gotta make a con save.
Alrighty. They're just jealous of his face because he's a
They're
BB Gerald.
they're just jealous that he's so handsome.
It's true.
And then con check for concentration. I think it's at advantage because I have Warcaster.
Ding, 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 ding. They all miss. Okay, Grania.
I think they've got it handled.
Pass?
Let me just see if there's any
Come
buffs
on,
that
man.
I
Why
want
there's-
to-
Just shoot some
I'm pretty sure
just
it
Eldritch Blast
will
it,
not
bro.
hit is the problem. Because the only thing magic that's damaged right has been the fire that didn't actually do a check to hit their armor. Is that not correct?
True, but so far Maximus has hit them pretty easily.
And force damage into the cores specifically.
All shots are -5 to hit. I don't know if you want to be doing those before you're testing stuff.
Alright, fine. I'll just blast this one.
Alrighty.
Shots.
Your first Eldritch Blast, I guess roll damage on all of them. Yeah, your first Eldritch Blast strikes right into the center of the dragon's jaw where the bolt is located, and then it passes through the thing, and you watch as essentially the core mechanism that powers this entire thing is pushed out the back of it, and the engine kind of like the boiler, the center of this thing, kind of punches out the back and just lands on the ground behind it, and the thing powers down.
Yippee!
The other two are overkill damage, but I mean, lesson learned.
I don't have anything else to target, right?
Yeah, from your little awkward angle, yeah, not really. Primius.
Is this just like
It's a cliff face.
drop?
It's a 10-foot cliff face.
So I
or
couldn't
down?
stand like right
Down?
here, couldn't
No, you couldn't.
I? Okay. So is this not actually 35 feet?
No, it's much farther. Because it's a 10-foot incline.
Oh, it's an incline. That's upward. I thght that was downward.
No, it's a 10-foot incline. This where you are, 10 foot lower than this where Dragon Cart Clockwork Bolt is.
Mm,
I can see why you. When I focus, I can see it both ways.
It's true. It's sort of like a Yanny Laurel situation.
Sort of like that one enemy not existing in Broken Bones' body.
Okay, Vervius, what are you doing?
I guess I'm gonna dash right here. I want to at least kill one of them.
Alrighty. That's a very far distance. How you getting there?
On foot.
80 feet of movement? Or 60 feet of movement?
Sure. How you getting there?
Am I not allowed to scale this?
Oh, you can. You just need to make a strength check.
Okay. Oh.
All right. You fling yourself up the cliff, grab a rock, pull yourself fully up. You're good. Corvus, you should fireball again.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Don't sculpt it this time.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I just couldn't do it this time.
The magic just didn't work that way. It's probably like the desert or something, I think.
Whoopsie!
I'm not going to draw a square. It just hits them all.
I'm be affected by those drugs.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste all of our time by trying that circle. It just hits them. They're too close together. It's just...
Yeah, specifically, I'm trying to avoid the grate.
That's fine. Yeah, sure. You point your finger, a thin line extends, a blast fills the entire hillside. Corvus, this is what you were fucking born for, baby.
This is gonna have to be an upcast.
Alrighty.
Which means that plus, I think it's 1d6.
That is not necessarily lethal.
Wait.
So let's make some saves.
1d6, wait. Plus 3, there we
Still
go.
not
It's
necessarily
upcast by 1
lethal.
level.
Okay, well, while it was not necessarily lethal, in practice it very much was. So, as a series of secondary explosions sound, and by the time that the flames dissipate, all the watchmen have ceased, as well as the bolt thrower. Again, the flames seem to basically break some internal mechanism inside of them, or maybe the entire combustion, which makes them function. The one in the back, though, is just a bit scalded on the outside. It's still trucking along.
And then I'll call out. See if we can maybe deactivate that one without destroying it completely.
Oh yeah, I should just mark the ones that are actually destroyed, which is so far only one. This one up on the ridge is actually like completely ruined, but the rest of them are all essentially intact. Zednius.
Man, I'm not even going to be able to kill one
I've just
of them.
been,
Probably not.
yeah,
Should have
I've just
ran.
been
Should have
just
sprinted
chugging
full speed
along.
the entire time.
I did.
Not you. Permeus should have. He was too coquettish.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Do I have eyes on this guy?
Because it's on a ridge,
if I
yeah,
don't,
you do.
then- Okay. I suppose I'll just Eldritch him.
Speak your shit, King. Slay.
I don't know what else to do without it.
Just Eldritch Blast it. Why
Just go pretend.
why ruin
I
a
know,
good thing?
but I really wanted to use my Hetmanerial this fight. but I didn't get to.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, if you had touched him, he'd be screaming at you for not just charging, but... okay, the last one misses. The first two hit, though, and that is enough to, again, punch out the core mechanism of this creature onto the sands.
I want to see if fucking does Hounds of Oblivion do anything to this creature.
It is a very funny thing for you to do. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
There is no spirit in these things. God,
Optimistic.
imagine how fucked it would be if there
I was
was.
very... No, yeah, that's why I was
That
like,
would be
I'll get
very
info either way
elvish
if I try.
coded. Yeah,
We're
no, there are no
fighting-
souls
we're
in these.
fighting the Balorosian Necrons.
Yeah, there are no souls in these things.
This
Okay,
fucking
yeah.
soul-bound
The
automaton.
battlefield goes
All
quiet.
While I'm still big,
Yeah.
I want to investigate the specific details of these, how these these billhooks are attached to them.
Yeah,
Is
they
it
are just
literally
built
fused
into the
into their
body. It's
hand?
like it's as if they were all cast out of the same piece.
Well, I'll shout really quickly.
Uh,
If you pick it up while he's still big, we can teleport with it all the way to Mythos.
which one should I pick up?
That one.
This big... Oh, I thought we were going to pick up the one that's not broken.
Oh,
This
is
is
that
the
the
only
one
one that's
broken?
not broken.
The black ones
Okay,
are the
yeah, then that
ones.
One next to him
that
is
are
the...
broken.
And I feel like that might be outside of the bounds of my
You know,
strength.
Maximus, Even you think that. I think even Maximus is like, come on, guys. I mean, I'm big, but I'm not that big. And then you kind of wrap your arms around it. You're like, wait a minute. And then you kind of squat and you kind of like, wait a minute. And then you just hoist it up onto your head. And here's the thing. If you get small, this will kill you. Like literally it will fall and kill you at the same time. But at this size with the exponential, cubic growth of strength and things like that, your carry capacity is big enough to hoist this over your head.
15 seconds left. I don't know how many.
So teleport in the next 15 seconds.
How many turns did we do?
It was like 4, probably.
So he has like 40-ish seconds.
Sure, but just hoisting it took about 10. So we gotta, if we're teleporting back, we gotta do it like now.
Everybody sprint.
Okay, well,
sprint together.
How heavy or what are these guys made
up.
of? I'm trying to put one of these guys in the bag.
Okay. That's not possible. Isn't the aperture of the bag like 6 inches?
Fuck if I know.
It says it in the item description for this exact situation.
It doesn't from
I told
my
Prometheus
to
try and pick one of the small guys up.
Are you trying to pick up one of the small guys, Prometheus?
Oh yeah, I mean me and Granny could pick one up,
sure.
or somebody could help me pick one up.
The aperture is 2 feet diameter at the mouth.
Yeah, that's not
On
big
the
enough.
bag of holding.
Okay, so
Okay, well
Xenius
then
and Grania.
let's pick one up.
Prometheus is looking.
Pick up the weapons.
Well, they don't. The
Maximum
weapons aren't
shots?
separate, but. Okay, so
stand on
everyone
the
begins
head.
to congregate up on this hill, and as Maximus, as you can feel a little bit of shaking in your arms, you're all together. So we are currently hoisting 1 watchman and 1 bolt thrower. Are we teleporting back?
Can Prometheus
Yes.
pick up a watchman also?
He can try. Make a strength
Let's
check,
go,
Prometheus,
bro.
if you want to pick up a
we go.
watchman.
We go.
Here he gets it. Or he
That's
doesn't.
at disadvantage. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Super not then. Okay, Corvus, you teleport. Roll D100.
We die.
Wait.
We all
Why?
die.
Roll
That's the whole
D100.
The end of the game.
All teleports are like that.
No.
See you
He's going to a
guys
fixed point, which is normally
Next
100.
campaign.
He's going to a
But we have
teleportation
the-
circle.
We have the glyph.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
aware.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Please don't.
You're
roll
rushing
bad.
it. That's why.
Just don't get 100.
Okay. I'm gonna say low roll is bad here.
You can say whatever you want. I know what is a bad result. Okay,
That's probably fine.
Corvus, as you cast the teleport. Actually, I don't even think you'd notice. As far as you guys are concerned, it's a normally completely fine teleport. You all appear on the wooden raised platform outside of Mythos. Maximus, you immediately chuck the bolt thrower off the platform because you can feel you're starting to shrink and you will die. You just know it. It's like a car being parked on top of you, like that, or falling on you more accurately. So you toss it off the platform, and this 2-ton piece of machinery flies from the wooden platform and plows into the field, 20 feet below.
It's a peasant right in the chest.
I was gonna ask, does the platform not just collapse?
No,
when,
it's more.
the
It's
moment we get
meant
there?
to carry a lot more than 5 judges. It can handle a piece of machinery. Yeah, and you guys look around and blink a couple of times, and the temperature is so much cooler here that it gives you kind of like a moment of whiplash. You're in Mythos. You're back home.
Also, our intestines feel like we were
Thank God.
cold. Huh? Isn't teleporting we're almost throwing up?
For some, it kind of gets better the more you do it, and at this point, everyone in the party has experienced it multiple times. So you do feel nauseous, but not enough to debilitate you.
Now, he's also stunned for a round.
Correct, but that's 6 seconds.
So haste ends.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not. Isn't haste longer than Isn't haste longer?
No, they're
than,
both 1
no,
minute.
no,
so
they're
you would
both-
have lost haste before you lost big.
Oh,
Either way, you toss it off, you kind of stagger for 6 seconds, and you're back to normal.
ugh.
do we
I
want to
feel like,
cast Legends
I'm
lore
gonna
first,
say
or
the,
do we want to?
We still need the materials, right, for Legend Lore?
Right, but we're
I
in
think we got
Mythos.
the gold for it. Okay.
We definitely do.
Let's see if my constitution can handle this.
So,
Well, do we want to do that, or do we want to meet with?
I think this is an
First-
unknown
what's his
metal that we
name?
should get inspected also on this guy.
Did I felt the
Right.
I want that
teleportation
bill
was
hook.
entirely normal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We kind of have like
I throw up all over
obligations
the
before
place.
we do our personal investigating.
Maximus, what if you molded this dead body into plate armor? Oh, he's puking.
Yeah, the in the becoming small and the
Yeah, and
teleport and the
haste,
haste
yeah,
coming
all
off
of it
wombo
combined.
combo was not
And the
particularly
exhaustion
good.
and all
Anywho,
That's
Yeah.
enough to make any man.
um,
This.
I doubt there is a single living person on this planet who could forge this.
All right, time to hit up the Lich.
I mean, if
I was
it's
gonna say,
but
that's probably, wait, the Lich isn't living. He's dead.
That's the meme.
That's the joke, yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Don't mind me.
it's all right, buddy.
Well,
Good thanks, man.
since you guys just threw that, ton piece of machinery off the platform, you can see at one of the nearest gate to this platform, you can see the kind of century of soldiers that guard it looking a bit confused out at you guys. I mean, you guys are half a mile away, but they just see this like giant square, like cart basically, like pointing upward out of the earth from where it struck the ground. It's a bit of an odd sight.
What do we want to do first?
We should get someone to come out and collect this stuff. Or at least that thing. And I'll point to the big one.
Yeah.
I
think
Department of Magic.
This is a thing for the Department of Magic.
Yeah.
well,
I think the first thing we're
it
gonna do
seems
is
that because
where's the sending stone?
I believe I do.
Oh wait, no, that was no
So-
sending stone. I keep mixing this up.
yeah, I was trying to say,
Oh,
didn't we have this
right.
problem before?
Well, in that case, I'm casting sending to Kato,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell him, we've just arrived back in Mythos. We've brought 2 automata to be studied, presumably by the
Don't we have,
Department of
like-
Magic.
Oh no, don't we have 3?
No,
No,
Miss didn't
I
manage
couldn't
to
pick
pick
one
it
up.
last.
Oh, that's right, you didn't end up picking it up. God damn it, I want that thing.
So you said what?
We've just arrived back in Mythos. We brought 2 automata to the teleportation platform that need picking up by the Department of Magic. That's all.
The reply comes. Welcome back. Come to the Master of Judge's office. I'll have the Department of Magic sent out to the platform.
Right, I'll relay that to the rest
Alright,
of the
I need to get Alright, I need to get a step on then if I wanna.
Where's Mickey?
So,
Back at the villa
Uh,
here in Mythos you guys are staying in.
Okay.
not gonna lie, Mickey's actually for once not on the mind at the
Oh
moment.
my god, he's thinking about Michael, the cheater.
Oh,
forgot
not
about
He's
Michael
thinking
either.
about the Pegasus.
I forgot
Nope.
cheating on Mickey.
He's thinking of other women, and then it's just a picture of him thinking about a Pegasus.
Real?
Alex, can I inspect the elbow joint of the,
No.
or the wrist joint if it has one? Of
It's
the
a wrist
small one?
joint, yeah.
It's a wrist joint. Does it have gears? Like, how does it
No.
like actuate?
There,
it's
well,
a
the way that it
whiz
would
joint.
affixed itself to the crossbow was a series of grooves built into the arm that it would slide in, then it would twist, which would push the whole thing to the left-hand side, and then little kind of springs would pop up and sort of form a lock. So if you pulled on it hard enough, you could take it back off, but it wouldn't fall off to like natural jittering.
I see. I did mean the other arm though.
Oh, the one that's attached to the billhook?
Yes.
No, there's no joint or anything like that. Again, the hand and the spear are forged out of, like, cast out of one piece.
Is there a wrist joint?
Oh, where the, yes, there is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is that a socket joint by chance?
No, that is not.
Shucks.
Attached by a series
What,
of melted pools of metal, which is not a familiar smithing technique to you.
Melted pool. Oh, it's fucking welded. Huh. Wait, but it can actuate? Like it can move?
No, the way they were swinging the billhook is by movement of the entire arm, like stabbing up at you or like swinging down. It doesn't have the articulation of like an actual hand.
So what is the first joint that can move, the shoulder or the
It'd be
elbow?
the elbow.
Okay, how's that joint put together?
It's looks like two pieces of this metal plate connected by a series of gears and small struts.
Okay.
If you mutilate this thing, the Department of Magic is going to assassinate you.
Oh, shucks. Okay.
Maybe not
Yeah,
literally,
I already
but
told
like
Department of
they
Magic.
would
Give
be
up on-
unbelievably upset with you if you just destroyed this currently seemingly working condition thing because you wanted a billhook made out of a new material.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think they would lose their fucking mind. Not to mention Kato.
I would also
Alright.
stop you.
Such is the way.
Like everything, you
Such is
managed
the
to
way.
get these
I
things
probably
without
could've
actually
figured out.
damaging their. Maybe. Here's the thing: would you ever be able to figure out how they work? Absolutely not. Could you dismantle them and harvest their organs? Yeah, probably.
No, that's fine.
I believe you could do that.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I wanted to do. And if
you
we'd spent
probably
more time
could.
back there,
It's
I could have.
more
but-
so, yeah. All right. Well, I assume you guys toss the Watchmen down onto the other thing since the Department of Magic is going to come out and collect them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys head into the city.
Suppose.
You are covered in sand, and Corvus, you kind of pass a prestidigitation along the party, cleaning everyone up. You still all look, you look like you've been in the desert. You can clean the silks, but the skin is still covered with, sweat and grime. And even if you clean the skin, the faces are still, tired and weary, and you can't erase the desert that easily. It's not a simple bath. You guys walk through Mythos, and it is a cold winter day, which is such a, again, crazy whiplash to the Nazar Desert.
Yeah.
It's January 10th. This is basically the coldest month Mythos experiences. It doesn't have snow. It's not that cold, but it is the coldest month of the year. And you make your way to the Department of Civility and to the kind of temporary Master of Judge's office, previously permanent, whatever. You don't even know about this office rooms anymore. You just ask people to guide you to where the Master of Judges is. Eventually you walk into Cato's room. You've been here twice before. First time it was like temporary. Second time it was a bit nicer. Third time it's looking like an actual office. There's a map of the Atlian Mountains. There's scrolls over the walls. Cato looks like he's finally getting into the groove of this immense operation. And as you guys step inside, he'll glance at probably Premier, since he draws the most attention easily, and say, "Well, it's good to see you're all in one piece."
I'll nod. We've discovered a lot.
So have we.
I think this will be very helpful.
Cato runs a hand over his bald head and kind of squeezes his scalp a bit. Well, how about you start by telling me what happened? You said you were going to the north to find more about the Beast of Atlia.
We met with the Archmagus of Zur. Was it Zuri? It was
No.
near,
Zuri
not
doesn't
in
have one.
Zuri. There's, yeah, that
What was his name?
Democritus fellow.
Democritus? The
Oh, this-
playwright?
Well,
Yeah, we did meet him.
you know him?
Well, he's relatively popular. Well, was a decade ago.
Served as a
He
local
pointed us
travel
in-
guide.
He pointed us in the direction of the Archmagus of the town close to Zuri. I forget which one. Anyway,
Beltsa
We-
probably, or Akialden if you went
Belsa.
west.
Belsa, yes, yes.
it was Belsa.
Kato
We
walks over to
discussed
his
with
little
him-
shelf. He takes down a scroll, unrolls a map of the Nazar Desert. Kato's such a fucking cartography nerd, and he'll point at the map and be like, "Beltsa."
Based.
Waypoints at the belts.
maps.
He loves maps.
Anyway, he gave us information of the Draconomicon.
I
are you
can't say
familiar
I'm
with this?
familiar. No.
It's a short-ish poem from what he can described it, which basically here we jotted it down, and I'll hand him the full text of what it said.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long because it's just not that long. Also, you got an excerpt of the original one, which was even longer. So he gives you to read, and he'll nod slowly. And what is it from? You said the Draconomicon. What is that?
Basically, it's the idea of where these dragons
No, that's
originated
not what I mean.
from.
I mean, the source.
It was, I believe, they got them from the Athnuin in the desert.
Yes, he stole
the
it from
knowledge
the
they
Athenry
contain.
library.
That means it's as good as being Elvish. That's useful.
Mm-hmm.
One moment. He takes the script you gave him, and he walks out of his office and hands it off to one of his assistants and says, spread this around, make copies, and then return the original. Probably 30 or 40 copies. Send one to each team of judges and the heads of the departments and the Emperor, of course. And the servant, scurries off, and he walks back into the office. That's, if it's accurate, which if it's Elvish, it probably is, that certainly is helpful.
Well, when we talked to him, he pawned it as mostly fake, and the only reason there is to look at it is the proof of the red and blue one, which
and this
we
person
know to
is,
exist
you said the Archmage of Belza?
Yes.
I'm not familiar
His-
with
his
Undead
name-
fella.
His name leaves me. Apologies for not remembering it clearly.
It's all right.
But Corvus had the idea of sending to the bronze one because, well, we assumed because the Beast of Atlia presented itself as a bronze dragon, it was the most likely case of being that, even if it might not seem the case on looking closer at it. And we got a response.
Yes. All right.
And then I'll hand him another note on what it said back.
Yeah. He's dying?
This is... We can't parse it fully, but this is proof that it and every other dragon exists.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's certainly proof that something... I mean, I'm sure Corvus better knows the magic than I, but you've never seen this dragon. You've never spoken to it. This could be a misattribution, correct?
I'll look to Corvus.
I addressed the spell as directly as possible to this.
I don't mean
specific
it's not a dragon. I mean, could it not be a dragon from the elemental planes? It is well known they occur there in great numbers.
It's quite possible. I'm fairly sure that the spell was sent to another plane.
All right. Well, it's not... It's by no means we ignore it. We just have to wait it.
True.
All right. Interesting.
We then went into the... we talked to an Athnoian individual who brought us into the desert to speak with one of their seers to find more information.
Anything of use?
Well, they gave us the full text of the Draconomicon, so to say. It doesn't add too much, but I'll give him that information.
Yeah.
But the thing of concern, which when we described the Beast of Atlia, was they mentioned something called the Ritual of Midnight. And
What is that?
Lichdom.
Indeed. It's rumored to be how you become a lich.
Well, that certainly matches up with other observations judges have made in your absence.
I'm so used to just surprising Kato with this shit. I'm
sorry. There is about 40 other
I mean,
people
yeah, last time we told him, he
investigating
was
this
like,
exact
"Oh
thing.
god."
Yeah, this time though, he started to get used to the fact that
Expect the unexpectable.
yeah. He'll slowly nod and say, "Is there any I can ask the Department of Magic if you don't know, Corvus, but is there anyone alive who knows anything about lichdom or liches experienced outside of Mythos?"
I believe there is a lich on a
Do
small
we know about
peninsula.
Vondi?
About Vondi? What about Vondi?
Well, doesn't Vondi know Lich? Am I
Oh,
wrong?
yeah, he does, but he's not a lich, and yeah.
But I thought he asked, does anyone know anyone even outside of
Oh, yeah,
Mythos that
true,
would know
true.
about
How'd
Lich?
you guys
And
find
Vondi
out
would
about
fit
that?
I don't know, but they know, so clearly they if the party knows, they know.
Yeah, how
because Vondi wrote about
how
it
do
in
you
one of his
guys know
books.
about that?
I think it was
Because
probably
Vondi
that.
talked to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vondi wrote about it in his book, and he was like, "Yeah, and I met a lich, and it was super cool." So that's-
Okay, it was written better than that. Vondi has
Oh,
some
it was-
talents, okay?
It was not super cool.
No, it was actually horrifying. But
It was super uncool, actually.
Yeah.
That was
Super cringe.
that was horrible.
yeah, Kate
I
will
don't know
nod
about
and
that.
say, "All right, well, we'll reach out to the Mythos Embassy in Al Sarah. All right. Well, is there anything else on the beast? If not, I can update you on how the other judges have progressed in your absence."
Well, we did progress further into the desert and found, because we were thinking maybe Golden Age Darwi, maybe Automata. So we brought 2 Automata to study them.
Yes, you mentioned in the sending.
One is
Yes, indeed.
Do the materials seem similar to the one you discovered on the bone chips?
Do they?
I mean, I don't know. You guys have got the description that you got. It's up to you.
No,
I don't-
Not in
I don't think so.
particularly.
He nods.
Besides
I wouldn't
the
say so.
bronze dragon head, I'm not sure if it's connected, and that might just be coincidence.
All right then. Well,
Oh, there is one more thing. Have you cast Legends Lore yet?
I personally can't cast magic.
well,
Or
has
has someone,
anyone-
any
I
of
believe
the other
so.
judges?
Aurelius is the most powerful spellcaster amongst the judges, and he's made a number of discoveries. He didn't give his exact sourcing for how he made these, but I would be surprised if some magic wasn't involved. Though for legend lore in specific, again, I'm not a spellcaster. I wouldn't know.
Understood.
What type of judge is he? As in, like, what class is he?
Spellcaster? What kind of
Just
spellcaster?
spellcaster?
Ah, he's a wizard.
You know? Okay. I don't think Legend Lords are wizards.
Now, he kind of lifts up the map of Nazar and then looks at the map of the Atlian Mountains, and we've made a lot of progress in the last 2 weeks, or 3 weeks since you've been absent. Groups of judges have begun to build a better picture of the beast. In fact, combined with what you say, I think we understand the creature quite well. Exotic beasts have continued to descend from the mountains. No casualties, though, amongst judges, which is good. Well, casualties, but no deaths. So I think I'll just share with you what we know. Aurelius is, as I said, the most powerful spellcaster. He and one other veteran judge have discovered a number of things. And rather than explain this all in character, because it's actually quite a bit of information, I'm just going to basically start pasting these in chat. And all of these are, to be very clear, these are what other judges believe and have sent on to Cato. They're, put a grain of salt. They're as knowledgeable as you guys are. So, and you guys are wrong all the time, so expect them to be, if not wrong, at least partially incorrect. But, so first things first. Aurelius believes every single creature in the mountains appears there by portal, meaning none of them are extinct. They're all being teleported in from the outside, whether from other planes, other parts of Valeros, and Aurelius personally believes other worlds beyond Valeros, within the material plane. That's notable because I think there was some concern that he was bringing back extinct creatures with some sort of crazy fucking time magic, but that Aurelius is relatively confident that's not true. Next, Aurelius believes that the plateau wards are unrelated to the creatures being summoned in the mountains, and it seems that the Beast of Alia only teleported to the ward to kill the previous team of judges because it was a familiar location, not because the ward facilitates teleportation, which, again, was a concern. And then lastly, Aurelius believes that somewhere in the mountains there is a portal into Cred Galador, a similar threat to which devoured the Athenian colony Tempestus. At present, he's trying to locate it, and that's what he's doing.
What's the Athenian colony Tempestus?
Yeah, Colony Tempestus is it kind of sent shockwaves throughout the magical world. What happened was a Athenian wizard, doesn't really matter how, opened up a portal to Cred Galador. Cred Galador being the opposite of Athel Loren. Well, that's at least the traditional way of understanding it. It's very grisly place, and it's also has all undead magic is much more potent there, all sorts of things like this. The type of gate that was opened, though, was one which was expanding, and so Cred Galador basically consumed the entire city, moving it to Cred Galador, so basically devouring the city, bringing it there, and then it began to spread beyond the city limits. So Hathon, along with multiple other religious orders and allies and all that stuff, basically sealed the city and then closed the portal, and now it's no longer a problem. But an entire city of almost 20,000 people was eradicated in the span of a couple of days because of an accidental gate opening. And he thinks there's one like that in the Atlian Mountains. Again, he doesn't say why. And you're certain Cato would have asked. But, judges are kind of arrogant, and they don't always share their sources. Now there's a couple observations from Helquith. Helquith is the cavalier that you guys have met. He's from Perton. I don't know if you remember him. He looks like a traditional knight. He's made some observations as well. He delved into an old ruin, and it had all these mentions of 2 dragon gods. So he thinks that something like what's happening right now has happened before, and one of the dragon gods defeated the other but died himself, which I think basically synergizes with what you know, but he came upon it through a different method. Next, Helquith believes the Atlian Rangers are utterly wiped out. I don't know if you even remember the Atlian Rangers. It's an order of rangers, the only order of such type in all of Mythos, which eradicated all the monsters from the Atlian Mountains. They are gone completely. At least that's what Helquith
I remember
believes.
when we were in the mountains, they said they tried to contact them but couldn't.
Yeah, and now they've largely decided that they're all dead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The rest of these judges, none of these names are going to be, or at least most of these names aren't going to be familiar to you, but these are just some observations they made. Julia believes that there is a ward of, so if you look at the plateau ward, these are the subcircles she believes there is, which is transpositional binding, demiplane, mind shielding, and banishing, which I don't know if you've come upon, I think one of those you came upon on your own, one of them your apprentice postulated, the other 2 I think were general knowledge. However, Julia also believes the last 2 circles in the plateau ward are just lost spells, as in you will never find a spell corresponding to them because you don't have that magic anymore. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Another judge named Porcius believes that whoever wrote these glyphs, so when I say glyphs, just to be clear, I'm talking about that giant, 40-foot wide ward you guys found. He thinks they're not that talented. There are a half dozen arcane phrases of the glyph that do nothing. Either that, or they're intentionally trying to obscure what they do. So the thing works, but basically, the 4 inner circles are readable. The outer one is completely illegible because of these useless phrases, essentially, which is confusing. Then Master Hunter Demelik, who is not a judge or an inquisitor, he's a hunter of the Manwë Farine. He's pulled upon contacts with other blood hunter orders and learned about a group called the Saviors of the Dawi. These dwarves had contact with a black dragon, indicating the existence of varieties beyond black and red. The black one was described as powerful, malignant, scheming, and ultimately the dwarves did not meet him. And the last piece of info from your fellow judges, inquisitors, allies, is from Father Rixion. He has observed that the monsters summoned by the beast into the mountains are taken to some place first. He met a sentient creature which communicated with 2 fern-like appendages. It explained it was brought into a great empty space, had its blood taken, a spell cast on it, and then it was dumped on the mountainside, and then Rixion killed the creature.
Father Rixion.
So, that's all the observations they have made in your absence, or at least the ones they've forwarded on to Cato, because, as we discussed before, judges are not the best at communication.
Interesting.
Why'd you say it like that?
Who's yawning?
Because I was yawning.
Oh. So after Cato yaps for almost 30 minutes, he will look at you all and say, "Well, you must be exhausted. You can go take the rest of the day off. If the Department of Magic makes any progress on the automatons, I'm sure they'll let you know. And start postulating how to deal with this threat. I think we have a pretty good idea of what it is. It sounds, based on everything here, we are dealing with a bronze dragon that has become a lich, and at one point was defeated by another dragon, but has somehow returned and is now seeking to break the wards that bind it."
I'd
Oh,
like to
also,
Huh.
3 other wards have been discovered, all identical to the one that you found.
You said the bronze dragon was the lich?
Is there a dragon other than the bronze one we need to worry about?
Well, the bronze dragon is the one we contacted who said he's dying.
Oh,
And if
Was
suppose you're right.
the copper is who killed him.
Yes,
but we've never seen a copper dragon. We've only seen the bronze.
If what Helquith found, then the bronze dragon would be the one that defeated the black one.
But the bronze was the one that killed the judges.
Maybe?
Are we sure
Maybe-
about that? I mean, bronze and copper are somewhat similar colors.
I believe the High Ecclesiarch was quite confident it was bronze rather than copper.
Yeah, but the footprints we found locally were completely inconsistent with what we saw in the vision from the Ecclesiarch, no?
Can you fool divination magic like that? Not just prevent it, but give it a false image?
With sufficiently advanced spellcasting, yes.
Is that theoretical?
I mean, if we
Isn't this all
if we
theoretical?
think about it,
No. I mean, is there a spell that
watching
exists that
the-
can do that?
if we watch the replay, it presented itself as a bronze dragon, but when we came back, it was black and covered in metal, and like the bone we brought back.
Sure,
Well,
that
it
could
might
be
a
a
simple
chip of a
combination
horn or
protection
something like that.
against- Of a simple combination of 2 spells, not a single spell that does that, but it could be a combination of non-detection and an illusion layered on top of each other.
Why would it pretend to be a bronze dragon?
I don't
Maybe
know.
to give itself a false image so it didn't have to look at itself.
Why?
I don't know.
Why do we think it's
Maybe
so...
it's
Sorry,
subconscious.
and where does the copper dragon come from? Why do we think it's copper?
I don't know. I'm with
From when
you on
we
this.
spoke with, from when Corvus spoke with the bronze dragon through sending.
Oh. Lemedon has... And then the Drakenor. I suppose I can...
So there's a chance that Kovash, the bronze, is actually a beneficial force.
Does any of this
who
matter? Does it
got
matter whether
destroyed.
it's a bronze or a copper dragon? We're going to kill it the same way, and it's not even alive anymore.
It doesn't really matter all that much, probably, I guess.
Alright, well then.
I guess from a purely utilitarian standpoint, you're correct.
Perfect. We're not trying to discover the lore of the thing, we're trying to defeat it. I'll spread a missive around with the Draconomicon and the other things. I'll see if I can figure out more about Lichdom from our contacts in the West. So far, other than your excursion, our best sources of information have been just going into the mountains and experiencing its phenomenon. So once you've recovered from your trip north, I think it'll be time for an expedition.
Oh boy.
Non.
Also, this is more so for Corvus, but any of you who could contribute would be appreciated. Currently, we've found 4 of these wards, but we have no idea how many there could even be. Some of the best arcanists have speculated on the total number, but struggled. So when you do go into the mountains, keep a close eye out for them.
Yeah.
All right, you're dismissed.
Is there a map of their current locations so
Yes.
we don't?
And
Alright.
I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a view. So this is what, this is the map that you guys were on before when you went to the little ward, but this is sort of like a bird's eye view. So you can see everything the Empire knows about. So you can see that little red thing down here. This is the senior judges, Aurelius and his partner. They're in a town called Rapola. Down here, you can see a ward in the mountains. There's also a village called Castellum. In fact, you should have labels on these because these are all well known by the Empire. And then I'll move you to the opposite side of the range and show you that as well. Bing, 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 bong, boing, boing. All right. And then
Indeed.
moving you to this side of the mountains. There we go. That's better. So there's the town of Oviocella there, which you guys have been to. There's the Gorge Ward, which is what you found. Then in the center of the mountains, a pair of judges found a ward in a valley. Then in the south, there was one built onto a plateau. Then that green thing down there is the Helquith party of judges. They're at a ruin called Selvathra. There's a village called Portiacelli. And yeah, so these are a lot of, these are all the locations you guys are familiar with, both Imperial and wards. This is not a permanent map though, so good luck. Anyways, yeah, Cato will point them out and then say, so, is there anything else, or?
Can we get a copy of this?
Copying an entire map takes some time. You'll likely be headed out before scribing would be completed.
Are we? The other parties are still in the field.
There are two judges
judges.
currently. Currently there are 30 inquisitors in and around Parla assisting with the defense of that city. There are two teams of judges guarding the foothills against incursions. There are two other pairs of judges assigned to investigate the mountains, those being the Helquith party and the Aurelius party.
Maybe we should. After, I guess we go out, we scout for the actual portal location, and then we do a united raid against it. Is that the plan?
The plan for now is just to look around and locate the wards. The Autarch of the Department of Magic thinks that if we can find one that's different to the rest, it may be a master circle of sorts.
Yes. From the message by
How-
Kovash, the wards might in fact be beneficial at warding against this type of teleportation magic.
Oh, there you go then. You were saying, Judge
How
Maximus?
confident are we in the Atlian Rangers' destruction?
Quite confident.
Or they-
Helquith's party went to the location of their headquarters, a lodge built in the mountains. It was utterly destroyed, likely from a similar sort of substance which incinerated the other group of judges, plasma. There is a chance some survive isolated in the woods, hiding in caves and the like, but all their ledgers of membership were destroyed, so we don't have names to do sending to.
I was about to ask that.
None of were bodies found?
Oh yes, a great many. No skulls to speak with dead, though.
And Manway Farine, they're also involved in helping with this?
Yes. As you know, the Manway Farine has a close relationship with the Empire, and we've called in all of our favors for this. They only sent 2 hunters over, Master Hunter Demelik and Master Hunter Locke. It's their 2 most experienced hunters.
I see.
Their relationship with the Order of the Crimson Eyes has proved the most useful source. That order can communicate through a type of dream telepathy, I suppose, and they can share information quite easily, so we've been able to gain a fair amount of useful information on dragons from them.
Good.
Now, go get some sleep, enjoy the city, eat some good food. Tomorrow or the day after, I'll send you back out to the mountains.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Cato, takes all the slips of paper you gave him and starts to enter them into the Imperial corpus of knowledge on the beast. As you guys walk back to your villa, kind of stepping a little bit out of character, there's a lot of information we have, and the Empire does seem to have a plan on how to kill this thing. A vague plan.
Bathhouses are a thing, right?
They are very much a thing, yeah.
Yeah, Corvus is gonna go to a bathhouse and get himself and his clothes thoroughly clean from all that sand.
Okay, so that's how Corvus. That's what I was going to transition to, which is there's been a lot to think about, a lot to stress about. Not particularly hard fights, luckily. So you're not going to be getting that XP you wanted, Yogi. Rip. But this is an evening of relaxation. You guys got
that
here.
one fight was XP though, right?
I mean, a little bit, yeah, but it wasn't very hard.
How
Those guys were
how
goobers. Yeah. I can go do the math. It's just going to be like nothing, though. That was a really easy fight. You realize you took 6 damage
that
the
was kinda
entire
easy.
fight, right?
that was kind of easy.
That was because of our tactful.
We actually couldn't. I couldn't.
Yeah, because it didn't hit you. Because it
couldn't
wasn't a
hit
hard
We were
fight.
fairly well coordinated.
Well, we couldn't. Well, at least I couldn't hit them either.
I mean, you could hit them. You just couldn't damage them, and then you did. Divided 5 ways, it's 1,000 XP each.
Jesus.
Jesus.
We could have stayed for a lot longer, I guess.
Well,
Not if we wanted to get that thing.
Then
back.
we wouldn't have carried the guy.
Yeah. Unless
Alright.
we cast a large.
How much downtime do we have? I'm gonna go
Day
kill
or two.
some bandits or something.
not long enough for that. And also, I'm going to keep it real with you.
Nah.
There's no bandits left in Mythoja. You dealt with all those in previous arcs.
Surely there's an XP.
I'm gonna go
potion
kill
for
some
us to
rats.
Or we will go fund the bandits and then kill them later.
Holy, they're
All
farming.
in one
We're
day.
building our mob farm.
I mean,
Wait,
honestly, just go
there's
find
nothing
a.
that says they have to be bandits, right? I can just go kill innocent people. That's fine.
So true.
I'm sure
They're not
that
gonna
would
give much XP.
go on for a while.
Unless you
Alright.
actually start
It's just
fighting the
heresy.
Mythosian.
They're just being heretics.
Corvus,
I killed
you go
them
to
as
a
a
bathhouse.
judge under my official judge capacity.
You realize that you're a part of the Order of Civility now, not the Order of Faith, right?
Just
Civility,
they broke the
civility.
law. I saw them do it, and I had to kill them.
Yeah. And then Cato says, "Oh, what law did they break? Can you show me the subsection? Also, we're gonna have a full trial now."
All
And
of
you're like,
them.
"Oh no!"
And
All right.
also, like one
Oh,
peasant, that's like no XP.
Yeah, well, he's gonna kill a lot more than one. Okay.
I'm gonna kill
Yeah, there's still gonna be
600.
no XP.
Okay.
That's still
gonna
0
kill-
XP.
Corvus goes to a bathhouse. Primius, how do you pass the evening of rare recreation?
Let's go smoke some weed.
You mean Kanab?
No,
You mean fire mouse?
I mean Ardenmus.
Okay.
Fire mouse doesn't exist yet. Stop it.
No, it
I'm
does.
gonna go
We're
drink
that
an
far in the
XP
timeline.
potion.
It does exist now.
Oh no.
That was
no.
like-
No.
Okay, Primius. He's not here. He's
What's
AFK.
up?
Oh, hi. How would
No,
Primius
right
pass
here.
the evening for recreation?
I think I'm gonna spend the whole time praying.
Holy shit.
So fucking lame.
Don't bring this guy to the party.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you prayed it
The
right.
bath- By the way, do
Um,
the bathhouses have massages?
They do, yeah.
I'm getting one.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn the bones that I got from the dragon.
How are you gonna do that?
What?
I'm just gonna take them to the what is it? I'm gonna throw them in the cauldron
That's not gonna burn them.
Why are you burning them?
because they're a sacrifice.
Would you
That's
like
awesome.
I don't
to
need
recall
them
that
anymore.
The
the
priest.
mage offered us a
God.
million?
Listen, he has them. No one can stop him. Let him cook. But I will say, Primius, when you get to the shrine, the father will kind of shake his head and say, Lord Faithful, because he can always see your glowing eyes. Bones will only burn if cremated.
Then cremate them.
What the?
All right, then. And he'll collect the fragments. And they do have crematoriums in every single large facility of faith, because that's how all worshippers of Herelian Soul meet their end. They're either burned on a pyre, which just burns everything but the bones, or they're fully cremated and sent up to the halls.
I'm also gonna throw $100 in
Ents or?
AK 1 gold.
gold.
Oh, 100 gold. Okay, cool. Cool. They appreciate that. Your faith is noted.
So So $100,000.
$100,000, yeah. Okay, so that's what Corvus and Primus are doing. Grania, how do you pass the evening?
I think if the fluttering one doesn't refuse, I think she wants to give him like a spa treatment for what he went through and helping out and everything.
Okay. Yeah, you the fluttering one likes bird baths, so you can enjoy the evening together. And Zenius, how do you pass the evening in Mythos?
So when do we think we're getting sent out?
Tomorrow
This
or
is
the
an
day
important
after?
question. And how long will it take to get there?
Who knows? I don't know. I think it took you guys a day of riding last time.
1 day?
Yeah.
So literally nothing I can do will level up. Even if I somehow got the
No, you had to stay in the
No.
desert longer.
Well, even if we did, we leave in like 2 days. We'd have to have walked back. This is
No, you
really
just would have
bad.
teleported.
Well, then if we get sent out in 2 days, it wouldn't have mattered if we stayed in the desert to get my XP.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because long rest. Yeah, well, such is
Could've
life.
just- Could have
You
just
know.
taken a boat back
We didn't
anyway.
know
True.
that.
Could've
Also, we
taken a
didn't
boat
know
back.
that we were gonna be sent out, of course.
True.
This is
Also
hindsight.
true. It's true.
I knew.
Yoda just didn't
Oh,
say
you did?
anything.
You didn't say anything?
Yeah,
Too
he's
evil.
Granny
great.
can't speak. Granny can't speak. It's not my fault.
Okay, so what's Imperial Sign Language then?
She forgore it.
No, she forgot.
She forgore it.
The desert heat made her delirious, so she couldn't say.
He actually took some of that opium, but nobody noticed because she doesn't speak anyway.
True. Couldn't tell the difference.
He was like half delirious and nobody
So
noticed.
Zenius, what do you want to do in the evening to relax?
I'm pissed, so I'm gonna ask Tullius if there's anywhere I can go to kill people.
What the?
Most well-adjusted.
You're gonna use
We're
your
getting-
Terriularis ring to ask him for people to kill?
Where's a place I can do that?
Police is evil. He would understand.
I can find some trouble.
Tullius will tell you to go to a villa in the Emperor's district of the city, just outside the palace, with a crossed daggers on the gate entrance.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay. Maximus, what are you doing for the evening?
He's going into the torture house. Pog.
I'm gonna go hang out with Mickey for a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks.
It's been a little bit. Yeah,
All right, well-
give him some apples. And then I did want to talk to Granny after that, but
Oh,
That's
sure.
not hugely
Okay,
important.
yeah, we can do that now. So yeah, Primius, you are kneeled in a shrine, praying, your knee on a scratchy board, the pain, better transmitting your prayers to heaven. Corvus, you are relaxed in a bath. A Galadite half-elf with soft hands is releasing the stress of many, many months.
How much does it cost, by the way?
Essentially free
You got
for the
soft
amount of money.
hands,
It's
brother.
like an electrum for all of it.
Well, I'm gonna give them like gross overpay and give them gold. for
That's
their
bigly.
services.
That's bigly.
That's because I don't have one to change money.
that's what.
Spend 90% more than you need to because you don't want to lose 30% of the money change.
Exactly.
About the principle, Alex.
The
It is.
principle of losing money based. Granny, you spend about 3 hours with the fluttering one. He flutters through baths. You think about journeys. He talks about how similar those spikes were to the Shrike, and you're like, yeah, I know, that's crazy stuff. And then eventually, as you are, like frolicking through the back garden of your villa in Mythos, Maximus comes out to the backyard. And Maximus, you can see that there's a bird bath, a little like stone bird bath, and the water is like moving about. So clearly something invisible is inside, like fluttering its wings and playing about in the little shallow water of the bird bath. And Granny is watching it.
I see. So, he told me, I suppose from the start, is he a he? Does it work that way?
Are you asking Granny?
Yeah.
Oh, I think when Granny
that
saw
was
you approach,
all
you
out
probably.
loud.
Yeah, I thought you were like saw it all from a distance. I didn't know you actually walked up yet.
Ah.
When Granny sees you approach, she kind of freezes up for a second, and then like sees if the floating one responds in any way.
I mean, the fluttering one will immediately stop and just like fly upward into a nearby tree.
Whenever she
Yeah,
thinks he's out.
and then I'll
Sorry, go ahead.
and then I'll spew all that out once I walk up.
Mm. I don't think she will immediately feel comfortable, so I think she's just going to ask the fluttering one. Are you okay with me talking about you?
You'll feel the fluttering one, like you can feel where he is at all times. So you feel him descend from the tree and kind of nestle back into your hair. And he'll say, "He is a safe one."
She'll nod. And then she'll sign, I assume she understands it's a boy. That's her understanding. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Okay.
that's close enough to your understanding.
Yeah, she'll sign boy.
He
Does it have a
told me a
Pangus?
name,
Oh, Blake.
or at least I think what he wanted me to call him is he with big eyes, him with big eyes. Yeah.
Has Granny heard him use that
Something
name
like that.
before?
No, but also he's a fae, so he uses different names with literally every
No,
single
I
person
understand that
he
part. I was
meets.
just curious.
No,
I was
you've never
gonna-
heard him use that one.
Next thing I was going to sign is different for different people.
Oh, I see. Well, he seems like quite a nice fellow.
She'll smile at that remark and nod. And sign he is.
I'm glad we have both him and you.
She's going to ask the
Well,
floating one, do you want to meet him properly?
Was that?
That's for you.
Oh, that was for me? Wait, I thought you were asking Ethan if you wanted to meet him properly.
I was asking the fluttering one if you want to meet Ethan properly. Message that.
No, yeah, I just misunderstood that. Yeah, the fluttering one will just kind of, no, not really.
She'll understand.
Not really. Okay. Everyone relaxes through the evening, and now we're going to cut back to Zednius. Zednius. That's the wrong music. Is this right music?
Where's the murder music? Put on the Doom Returns.
There is no murder.
soundtrack.
There is no. We're not playing combat music.
Rip there.
Zednius, you walk to
Yep.
a very, very nice part of Mythos. The Imperial complex is massive. It's so big that it's essentially its own section of the city. I mean, it's its own ward of the city. It's so large. However, that colossal scale means that there are sections of it that are allowed to the public, and some of those are where some of the most important people in the Empire live. Members of the Imperial clan, autarchs, or multiple generations of like powerful families. There's only like 12 residences, so these are literally like the most powerful people in the Empire. You walk past, guarded buildings, places where dinners are happening, and the house that you approach is lively. It's a massive villa, 2 stories, which is incredibly rare. Like almost every villa is 1 story. This one's 2. There are large columns which support it. The entire thing is decorated with purple and yellow linens, indicating the immense wealth of the person who lives here. There are servants sprawling across, like there are half a dozen servants tending to all different parts of it. There's gardens between you and the house. It is the most opulent you can get, short of being the emperor. And a servant will approach the gate and say, "Hello."
Is this the area with the double daggers?
Yeah. The door is the gate is like an iron gate with a kind of a inlay of double daggers across from it.
Yes. Hello, I was looking for a little excitement tonight.
Are you on the guest list?
I don't think so.
Let's kill him.
All right. Well, I'll go speak to the master of the
on.
house. It may take a little bit.
Okay.
And you linger near the gate, and inside you can hear the sounds of some sort of party happening. And eventually, the servant returns, and he says, "The master of the house, you're Zednius, correct?
Yes.
The master of the house is expecting you. At the present, he's entertaining guests. He asks that you wait in his study. I can bring you there."
Okay.
And he'll open up the gate and guide you inside. And a couple of the servants glance at you. He did also call you by your first name, not your proper title, which indicates a level of either familiarity or unformality.
Disrespect.
Or disrespect if you choose to take it that way.
Yeah.
He guides you into the foyer of the, again, most villas don't have foyers. They just have like antechambers that are the entrance. This one has like a full grand foyer. Off to your left, you can see like a dinner party, through an archway, you can see a dinner party unfolding. The table has about 9 people at it. At the head of the table, you see Tullius, as you've never seen him before. He's dressed in proper garb. He's wearing a toga. Sitting at his side is a woman about his age. You can see several children at the table, and then some other Mithdosian dignitaries of rank and status. His eyes flick to you as you walk past, and then you continue on. Those look like his kids. They look like him a lot, biological kids specifically. And the servant guides you through the open courtyard towards the far back of the villa, up a little spiral stair to a very nice office. There is, oak and mahogany and curtains of purple cloth and all manner of other things, as well as some various desk ornaments that cost small fortunes. He's using a elven dagger as one of his desk ornaments. And the servant will gesture towards a chair and say, "Well, if you would have a seat, the master of the house will probably be free in 10 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'll take a seat.
Yeah.
Wondering what the hell I just saw with Tullius.
Yeah, you kind of wait here. You look around the office. There is some letters on the table that are sealed up.
When he looked at me, how did he look?
He looked, he was smiling. He looked like a normal person at a dinner party.
What the?
Okay, but did he make eye contact with me?
Yeah, he made eye contact with you.
Oh, okay.
That's
It
not the real
wasn't
Tullius. Kill him.
I don't know.
About
Role-playing
15
the
minutes
fluttering
pass.
one.
And the door at the base of the stairs opens, and then you don't hear him ascending the stairs. He's too quiet for that, but you assume that he is. And Tullius will climb the stairs wearing, the nice purple toga with the gold string around it. And he'll run his hand across his, short cropped hair and say, "Hello."
Is it just me and him?
Just you and him. And he's back to normal. His face is kind of impassive and emotionless.
What?
So,
What
you
was
said-
that, Father?
that was my family.
Who are they? Oh. I didn't know about them.
No, you didn't. But you were bound to figure out eventually. I thought I would inform you now.
Okay.
Now, you said you wished to, kill someone.
Yes.
Elaborate.
I've just been craving combat, and the last fight we were in was cut very short. And it doesn't seem like we'll get a chance in the next few days until the mission.
Well, unfortunately,
Did I
You're-
do something wrong?
No. No. Your skills are no longer suited towards assassination, from what I have learned of them. So it's hard to give you any jobs. You're a blunt instrument.
Oh.
Don't be rash.
So then why did you bring me here?
I brought you here because it's worth for you to learn a bit more. You see, my progress is going quite well. It's seeming increasingly likely that if old Aurelian Soul passes away, or you succeed to a substantial level, my family will be uplifted into power. And I thought you should be aware of the fact that you're not my only child, nor my sole priority.
What the?
I see. I look a little disheartened.
No. You are still my son, of course, under all legal adoption proceedings. But, as I said, not my sole interest.
Do they know about me?
No, of course not. My wife believes
About
I have
how
a
old
position
were all
in
of
the
them?
Department of Civility.
About how old were the kids?
The youngest one looked like 4, the oldest looked like 12.
Okay.
There's about 3 of them. So that means around the
Well, what
time
do
you
you-
were recruited is when he started having kids.
What's your plan for me then?
The same as before.
I assume.
You rise into power with me.
What does that look like?
What do you mean?
I just don't understand. I guess I just don't understand.
Well, if I must spell it out plainly, soon the Emperor will either die or he'll be removed. At which point, I will call a council of the clan Perusian and be named his formal successor. I will then undergo apotheosis. You and my other legitimate children will become a new bloodline, the Toulousian dynasty. And, well, we'll figure things out from there.
I see. Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay.
No, this doesn't change anything. It's just worthy for you to be aware of these things. No, as I said, don't be rash, control yourself. You don't even need to kill this beast or whatever else it is, simply don't die. Things are progressing well. The more struggling the Empire is, the easier things become.
You're not afraid of Corvus and his group anymore?
No, the Sons of the Republic are shattered. With Bogdi and... I won't bore you with the details, but we broke about 6 cells in the last couple of months. Now, the organization is still alive, but it's a corpse. The only thing we really have to worry about is the legions, but, they're on the plains, and I'm in the capital.
That's the only threat to us at this moment?
Just about.
Okay. Good. Good. I'll do my best to stay alive.
And you won't go killing anyone important.
I won't bring a stain on our new name.
Oh. Killing people
On
isn't
you.
the stain. It's getting caught.
I'll control myself, Father.
Alright then. Well. He extends a hand. It was, nice seeing you.
I'll try to move to a hug.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When he'll extend his hand, and
Okay.
when he sees you go for a hug, he'll hug you back and pat you on the back.
I was like, oh no, he's getting too formal on me now that he's got other kids. He's like, we're just business mates now.
Yeah. He'll pat you on the back and say,
Okay.
all right, well, the Autarch of Magic is in my dining room, so I should go back to speaking with him.
I'll get going.
All right, you
It was nice
descend
seeing you.
down the stairs with him, and he kind of splits off to go back to the dining room. The servant guides you out. How's
And then I will.
how's Ednius feeling?
It's he's got a lot of priorities, you know, but he was upfront about it. So
Yeah,
it's
basically
like,
every
I don't
time you've
know,
met
I'm a little
Tullius over the
conflicted.
last, like, I don't know, 20 sessions, he keeps revealing new shit that he's never told you about himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like how old is how old was Zednius when he got found by Tullius? He was like 12.
Yeah.
So that means, and he's only, how old is Zednius? Like 20 or 21? So that
something
means
like that.
that means technically this 12-year-old was born before he met me, which means that's probably the firstborn, most important.
Well,
child. I don't know that
Mythnosia doesn't give a
see it
fuck
that
about
way, but
that type of succession.
Right, but
yeah,
okay.
it's just
Probably
appointed. Like,
I mean, I'm
currently-
not worried about succession because the emperor title isn't necessarily succeeded in normal ways anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be like, oh no, he's going to be emperor and not me, because I probably will die before Tullius if he's emperor. so.
Probably. Though he did have a family literally this entire time, which is
Yeah, and a wife.
yeah, and. You
And
kind
somehow
of.
I was
he
hidden
also
from
implied
them.
to you that, like, I mean, I think he outright told you a couple times he was at like the fringes of Imperial Society, but this is a really nice house. Not only is it a really nice house, he's like meeting with heads of departments in that dining room. So maybe he was,
Yeah.
but he's certainly not there anymore. Like, now he is about as integrated into the Imperial family as you could be without just being the Emperor.
Now, what is the family name? Do I see any family names anywhere? Like, is he not Tullius? Blah 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 blah. Is he something else in this?
Yeah,
house?
I think that's actually a really good question. No, he does seem to be the name that you know of.
Okay.
Yeah, but you are, as far as you know, currently legally his adopted son, which in the Empire is a very common practice. In fact,
How are you hiding that from your wife?
you know, he's a talented guy. What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, everything about him is kind of weird. Like, he's gotten this deep into the Imperial bureaucracy, and yet he's basically a public unknown, which is pretty difficult in the Imperial family. Even random, like, people like Premius. Like, Premius has a bit of a reputation, despite not even being the son of the Emperor or anything like that. He's just a part of the Imperial family. Yeah.
What was like Tullius's job to be underground for?
Yes, and
forever.
he's quite good at it. I also just realized something. I should have thought about this in advance. Tully is about to giga-cuck Prometheus's entire career path. He's like about
Yeah.
to fuck
Oh, he is, isn't he?
Prometheus's entire life. Okay. Anyways, that's rough, man.
Unlucky.
Unlucky. All right.
What?
Dang.
What did? Wait,
should've made a
before we
different
move
character.
on. Tullius hasn't won yet.
Not yet.
It's just scary. But
No, not yet.
what?
I don't know.
does
If
the
he's talking like
Emperor's
this, it's pretty
close
guaranteed.
family
in
actually
his
do?
eyes.
Yeah, so the way the Imperial family is structured, as we've discussed before, there's two levels of like closeness to the Emperor. There is the Perusian clan, which means you're just descended from any of the emperors, which is very large. Then there's the Varusian bloodline, which means you're descended from the last emperor, Varus, which there's a very small number of people in that bucket. You and I believe you're like a special case, obviously, because you're adopted into the family. You're not a member of the Perusian clan, but you are a Varusian.
Yeah.
So basically, the tiers of relationship go the Emperor and his immediate children. Almost all of them serve in the Imperial bureaucracy, the Department of War, the Department of Civility, something that is very prestigious. Very rarely the Department of Coin, because that's viewed as the most soy profession. Also very rarely the Department of Faith, because almost all, if you die and you get revived as a cleric, you cannot become emperor. It's disqualifying. So mostly Department of War civility.
Wait, why?
Because it would be weird if a shard of Aurelian soul then mantled the whole of him. It's viewed as diminishing his might.
Okay.
That's theology of the that's the Varusian creed, baby. Now if you want to get really cynical with it, you could say that they're trying to cut members of their family out of the line of succession, but the theological explanation is not that. Either way, so most of the
no wonder I wasn't contacted, because yeah,
most of the emperor's immediate children are put into the Department of War civility. Brothers, cousins, all the same thing. They serve in various places in the imperial hierarchy. Like Primius would fall into this bucket. He is a second cousin of the previous heir, so he's a first cousin of the emperor. So his father was a brother. No. Is that the math? Is that how? No, his father. I can't do family trees right now. A cousin's father would be the uncle. Okay, I figured it out. No, I got there. His dad would have been an uncle to the emperor, which works out fine because the age gaps in some of these things are crazy. Anyways, to answer your question, Yogi, really close family members, Perusian Varusians, serve at the highest echelons of state in all the different departments. Lower family members, such as yourself or like Tullius, for instance, will basically just do whatever work can be found. They're just basically normal senators. And then there's the widest branch, which is you're a member of Clan Perusian, but you don't have the bloodline Varusian, which means you're descended from the first emperor. And those people are basically just normal senators. Like, they don't get any benefits from being a part of the imperial family other than qualifying for succession. And those are like the 3 tiers of closeness. And obviously adoption circumvents all of this because it's not really based on blood. It's based on political affiliation.
Are they celebrities?
So would I be technically on the 3rd tier because I'm revived by the emperor?
Well, you'd be in the first,
like, treated as such.
You'd be in the 1st tier, but in practice, from like a inheritance standpoint, you're in the 0th tier.
You're excluded.
Right, because I'm not even considered to be.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, that's not like that's a law that the emperor can overturn whenever the fuck he wants, because the emperor is literally like God. So if he decides that that's not a rule anymore, it's not. And then, Yogi, you asked a question.
Are they celebrities?
Oh,
like the royal family?
No, the emperor is. His immediate advisors are. These are priests, things like that. His selected heir, which in the most recent case was his nephew, they're celebrities. But the imperial family, the Perusians, is colossal. The Perusian Varusians is even dozens of people. So, not really, no.
But like, yeah, okay. But the emperor's nephew was?
Yes, because he was selected as heir.
He didn't have any birth children?
He did. He just didn't like any of them. Also, most of them are dead now because he's almost 100 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't know if my future wife was going to be like the Kate Middleton or Meghan Markle.
No. Yeah,
the realm.
The first emperor, Aurelian Dominus, established this idea that, like, realistically, blood does not matter, and whenever he really, like, the guy who ultimately inherited after Aurelian Dominus was adopted as his legal son, but genetically was his great nephew, I think. So there's very little expectation in the empire that the emperor's kids will be anything other than bureaucrats, because so far no child has ever inherited after their parent, though there's only been 3.
What about have there ever been any other half-elves in the closeness proximity?
Probably not, but half-elves are... I'm not going to say the Empire is not racist to half-elves. They're just viewed as humans, though. Like, they're just viewed the same as, like, Tebrashans, not as, like, a separate species like dwarves. A dwarf in the Imperial family, that may cause, like, actual, like, severe backlash. But, I mean, half-elves are basically humans, especially Galadrim half-elves.
Now, if you were one of the, what are they called? The desert people?
Oh, Athnoween or Westbar? Yeah, if you're any of the, if you're the Westbar half-elves, too, they're pretty crazy. That would be problems. But, you know, you're a human, basically.
Can the different subrace half-elves reproduce with each other?
No.
Could I marry an Athnoween?
You could.
Children?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, half-elves probably aren't. Well, half-elves aren't even really a species. Half-elves.
I thought you said they couldn't reproduce with humans, though.
Well, yeah. So it's Galadrim half-elves are so distinct to the other two that they probably shouldn't even be considered half-elves because they can interbreed with humans. They have, over the course of centuries, done so, and essentially ceased to exist as a distinct group. Like, they're so similar to humans. Westbar half-elves and Athnoeen half-elves are so insular and essentially inbred that they can't reproduce with humans, and they can really only reproduce with some Galadite half-elves. So if you want to get into, like, speciation, the answer would be that humans and half-elves, whatever Westbar and Athnoeen are, those are two separate species. The Galadites are like a weird kind of hybrid thing, and they follow the whole spectrum between half-elves that can reproduce with half-elves to humans that can only reproduce with humans. They're like a chimeric species. But you're basically a human. I mean, to be honest, like, by every respect that is relevant in the Empire, at least, you are essentially human. There's no cringe-ass one-drop rule in the Empire. Okay. So, you all return to the villa at various times of the night and finally get some sleep and spend the evening relaxing. Corvus, after you get back from the bathhouse, in your room, you open up the door and your apprentice is there. He's working. He's clearly been working here the last couple of weeks. Your walls are plastered with all sorts of different attempts to, like, decipher the plateau ward. He doesn't notice you.
I'll look at him.
He's still furiously scribbling.
Hello?
He spins around. Oh, you're back!
I don't recall giving you permission to study, to use my room as your study.
You didn't, but look at this. And he pushes 8 pieces of paper into your hands.
I'll look at it.
It's all him working on the Minute Meteors spell. Or what? No, not Minute Meteors. Blazing Salvo. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can add 2 more spell progress. So
8 pages for 2 more? Huge.
yeah, so the time that you were gone should have given him enough time to make 1 progress. He must have just not been sleeping. Or, like, really just
Honestly,
hyper crunching.
I'm down with the grind, so I'll forgive. I won't disintegrate him for using my room.
If he wants to work himself to death, who are you to stop
How
him?
kind of you.
I'll make an exception just this once.
But then he'll guide you
Is he
over and
replaceable?
he'll guide you over to his ward analysis, and you don't have the heart to break it to him that much smarter arcanists than him have cracked the 4 subcircles already, and he explains his grand theory of everything uniting the whole ward, and you know, it's a theory fueled by a lack of understanding and sleepless nights. I'll put it that way.
Oh, I see you put a lot of thought into this.
Yes, I think I have. So what do you think? Should we send it
have
to
you
the Department of
rested at
Magic? Tested?
Rest. You should
Rested?
get some rest.
No, but I've been
Have you
thinking about
slept?
testing it. I've slept, of course.
How much?
You know, a couple hours.
A day?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Surely. Surely.
Okay. Need to. Jesus. You know, you can present these findings of your own. You did this work yourself. You can present them to the Tower of Magic
Yeah?
of your own.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I used about half of your arcane ink, by the way.
You what?
Go back to disintegration.
Corvus,
Like,
subtract half of your
Thinking
arcane
it like down
ink
his head
from your
before I was
sheet.
thinking, don't strangle him, don't strangle him, don't strangle him.
You are down to 10 arcane ink, Corvus.
I see. Alright. We'll be going on an excursion pretty soon.
Us?
Leaving the judges.
Oh.
No, not you. I don't Would you like to be a judge?
No, God, no. God, no.
Yeah. You would be risking your life horribly. No offense, but I'm not sure you're ready for what's out there.
No, I don't think so either. I don't want to be a judge.
Yeah, we'll be going on an excursion in tomorrow, day after tomorrow, around about. I can share some of the findings that we've gotten with you. I'll write you a note. We have a guest room, right?
Yeah, you do.
I prefer if you worked out of the guest room while I'm
Yes, I
packing
was
the
just,
things.
keeping things safe here.
Of course.
Oh, I also installed an alarm spell on your window, on that cabinet there. I also put a glyph of warding on the chair over there.
What type of glyph of warding?
Why
what's
on the
trigger?
chair?
An explosive one.
On the chair.
Yeah, it won't trigger on you or me.
Who will it trigger on?
Well, anyone else.
This is like my house.
Correct, it is.
rub my temples.
5 years from now, Premier sits down in his guest room chair and fucking explodes.
Taste.
Don't do any more glyphs of warding in this house.
Okay, I'll stick just to alarm spells.
We're not the only... Alarm spells are fine.
Oh, I also, I got a lead box.
Okay.
I put letters in it.
What type of letters?
Important things of our connection.
I see. You've been getting letters of them?
No. I've been writing some, hoping you could.
Oh. I see.
It's behind the treatise on arithmetics. Behind the book.
Okay. He's like
I'll
mentally
let you
writing
sleep.
a pro con list on doing the leave. Yeah. You get yourself some rest too, and
Yeah, sure.
no more glyphs of warding. In general,
Alright.
try to keep the spell casting in here to a minimum, other than experimentation with the spell itself.
Well, not exactly. Spellcasting, it's
I
arcane.
have one of the judges I work with is, let's just say, very ignorant towards magic, so he might not. Something that might seem incredibly obvious to us might startle him, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to him or to you once he finds out who is responsible for it.
All right
short
then.
temper.
Well, tell him not to go into your room and sit down at your writing desk, and he'll be fine.
Maximus
Yeah, I will.
just explodes.
Good night. And I'll kind of.
Also, it's not his Corvus's room. They're in someone
the guest
else's
room
house.
in your house. Yeah, correct. Tishis will leave the room, and yeah, you guys all get some sleep.
A glyph of warding, if you you don't have. Can you dispel it by just like destroying it physically?
If you knew exactly where it was carved into the chair, yes. However, so there's two ways to do these types of things. You can either do a visible one, which is typically used as like people do this for defending their homes because it's like to scare away robbers.
Yeah.
There's also the much more insidious one, which is where you don't do that and it's essentially invisible without like detect magic or something, and that is what he has put on the chair.
Okay.
It won't blow up. You're
like,
fine.
Break the chair.
Breaking the chair would
Like-
undo the glyph for sure.
Like sawing it in half.
Yeah, that would do it. It's a nice chair though. Has a cushion and everything.
It's also not your chair.
Your chair.
What? We live here.
I mean, you do
Where's-
live here, but it is like Premius's residence.
Is it? It is?
I
I'd
believe
like,
if I-
eventually, I'm gonna kick you out.
If I recall correctly,
Wait,
it was
I
so
thought-
you guys were loaned a villa by the Department of Civility to stay at, but
Yeah.
Premius has enough. I mean, I assume he just owns it. Is what my assumption is. Because it's not like he stays in the capital and stuff. So his like all the property, like the Department of the Master of Judges owns no property. The Judges Department doesn't own any property. They just get stuff from people. And so it is Premius's, but it is being loaned out by the Master of Judges.
Right. I'll put the chair in the corner and just put a bunch of like stuff on it so nobody can sit
Put
on
all
it.
the extra paper that was on your wall onto the chair. All right.
I'll sort the room a little bit. And then I'll look at my bed.
Yeah.
Did he sleep in my bed?
He slept on top of the sheets.
I'm changing the sheets.
Like,
Bro's a gooner.
no, he did not do that. Yeah, you switch out the
Either
sheets.
way, I just... Come on, man.
Listen, he protected your room against fucking Frumentari assassins, and this is how you treat him?
What is that? Zenith is allowed to come and go. Frumentari assassins are welcome here.
Oh, man. All
So
right,
it's not gonna help against the good one. It's not like they're gonna
Frumentari
let's
assassins.
assassinate him. Let's sit on his chair.
let's assassinate
More
this
like-
guy. Let's sit in his chair with our ass. Okay,
Let's sit in his chair.
you get some sleep. Everyone wakes up the following morning and gets some breakfast. Before you even finish, the order comes down from Cato. It's mountain time. He does more specifically outline your objectives, though. Current estimates, based on an analysis by the Department of Magic, is that there are 2 more wards, and one of them is the Master Ward, through which all other wards are routed. Your job is to find one of them. They literally don't care which of the remaining 2. Once you find one, you come back to Mythos and talk about it, and then they'll figure something else out. But for now, you need to go in the mountains and find a ward.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
All right. Are we going to have mounts?
Pegasus? Question mark.
That would easily navigate the mountains. I was more so asking about the rest of the party with their horses.
Oh.
I will be riding the Pegasus. You can get on Mickey.
Ooh. Well, the reason I'm asking this is because getting to the base of the mountains with horses is easy. Navigating the mountains with horses will slow you down. So if the party is mounted, it is going to slow you considerably. With the
You
exception of the
and I
Pegasus.
Need to have a conversation.
Okay. Have the
Yeah,
conversation.
Yes, so I suppose
Wait, last
as
time
we're
we had Phantom Steed options.
Right. Again, that works for navigating the lowlands at speed if you like lack horses or whatever. The mountains, the reason the horses are slow is not because of tiredness or speed or anything like that. It's because it's rocky and mountainous and you're climbing frequently and horses don't have hands.
Wait, they don't?
No,
The
they
fuck?
don't. I'm sorry. But
I've been
Pegasi
drawing
can
them
fly.
wrong my entire life.
yeah, but Pegasi can fly, which kind of gets over this whole problem. So that's where we're at.
yeah, as we're getting ready for the day, I suppose I will head down to the stables with
Yep.
the saddle,
Yeah.
ready to supposedly saddle up the Pegasus.
Not so fast.
Eh? Oh.
I'm taking the Pegasus.
May I ask why? I do get that it's your steed and all.
Well, I get the feeling that if we run into things that can't touch you, I die faster. So,
You do realize I'm far more effective on mountback as a fighter, far more than on foot.
I understand that, but you have a horse.
The problem is not so much I have a horse that I'm not willing to risk, and more of horses can't go there.
Hmm. See, that is a predicament. But if you ride a horse, then there's no one to stand next to, and then I'd get annihilated, like last time.
Miss, you can see the psychological impact of that elemental fight weighing heavy on his psyche.
You wear plate. Does he wear plate armor?
No.
Oh. What does he wear?
Leather.
What?
Dex Paladin.
Oh my god. Prometheus, I could get into a nice long
Shouters?
talk with you
Chowder
about
suggested waiving my debt to you so you could ride the Pegasus.
That's base.
That's extremely
that's
base.
incredible.
What's the debt?
He owes me about 2,000 gold.
No,
Don't you get like
200
a million
gold.
stipend every
Nope,
month?
it
You're about
is.
to get paid again?
No, yeah, it's
I'm-
2,000 gold.
Okay, alright, cool. You're not cheating me. We went to a barrister and everything.
Waiving a $2 million
It's true.
loan to ride a fucking Pegasus for one expedition.
Remius, I could get into a long discussion with you about your fighting style choice versus your armor choice, but I feel like it's going to get no one anywhere, so be it. And I'll walk towards Mickey for now. Alex, do the Atlian Mountains have mountain goats? Nope, those are only the dwarves that have the big ones. Fuck.
I was about to say they have normal ones. Non-rideable ones.
Hmm. Hmm.
Fuck maxing Cavalier Cell.
Hmm. Hmm.
Could just fight on foot. I mean, you're still a level 11 fighter.
We're in the stables at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go smash some water troughs.
Okay. You smash a couple water troughs.
He's destroying them? He's
That-
destroying my property?
I presume so.
And then I'm gonna wing my helmet as far as I can.
You launch your helmet across the fucking yard at a tree, and it and then lands on the ground unharmed because it's magical.
Says you can't ride a Pegasus once, throw the tantrum.
Listen,
Oh, it's deeper than that.
it's true.
Oh, it's Mickey getting in danger, isn't it?
It's a
That is-
wombo combo of that. The Pegasus was super sick to fly on, and my frustration at your idiotic choice to be a frontline fighter with dexterity-based armor. This is in character. Out of character, I by no means am bashing on your
Yeah, Maximus
character.
is
I
just
wanna
looking
make
at
that
him
very
wearing
clear.
like form-fitting
It's
leathers,
like-
and he's like, "Put on some fucking blade! Put on some
It's
blade!"
just it's just Maximus losing his mind.
He's like, "I don't care
For
how
me, it's
acrobatic
his
you are,
choices.
wear a fucking blade." Yeah, yeah. Well, with our party of a mounted Prometheus and the rest on foot, we can head to the Atlian Mountains. Now, I'm gonna be honest.
So Alex, it's like impossible for a standard horse to navigate that.
Correct.
Or is it just okay? It's actually impossible.
I mean,
all right.
Okay, it's not technically impossible, but you would slow literally the entire party down by a factor of 4, which is a bit.
Yep. No.
insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should do this. This is what we're gonna do since we don't have enough time to really start this expedition in earnest. I'm just gonna quickly mark the locations of the currently existing wards. Or, sorry, discovered, not existing. That's not the right word. These are the 4 wards that have been discovered and their positions in the mountains. So, you guys are kind of given a blank check to enter the mountains wherever you wish and start to look for the last 2 wards. Where would you like to enter the mountains from?
What a good question.
And then just to add some more detail, on the southern and northern sides of the mountain range, there are glaciers that run kind of like this. And yeah. Anyone got any thoughts?
I do not think. I think that there are still some Atlian Rangers mucking about. Like, there are a bunch of Rangers. There's no way all of them were in their little encampment at the same time, right?
Makes sense.
Right, I'm gonna make
That's just gotta be impossible.
guess. I'm gonna make an uneducated guess that with the way they're construed, there should be like one over here-ish in that area.
Okay. All
You
right.
could start in the northeast, I think. That's like the largest area where there hasn't been one found.
Okay.
And if they cover like the entire mountain range, it would make sense for there to be one.
It would make sense for there to be one in the northeastern quadrant.
Anybody disagree with that statement?
I think we should try and find what's left of the Rangers.
I think that's not our mission.
Yes.
I think it would help us on our mission goal, and
We
basically
can look
everyone's
for
mission
them
goal.
while we're going, but I don't doubt that they're gone. Do you?
That they're all gone?
Well, there might be like one random survivor out there, but how do you think that's actually gonna help?
I think there's multiple survivors out there. I don't see why there wouldn't be.
Okay, how's that gonna help though?
They know the woods extremely well. They've probably been looking for answers, same as us. They will know if something about the woods is different than it normally is, i.e. be able to pick up one of these weird glyphs from farther away.
Okay, but we can look for the needle in haystack. That's the glyph, or for them. I feel like if we look for the thing that we're actually looking for, and we find upon then, that's cool. But if we find then, and then we enlist them to find the needle in the haystack, and they're like, actually, this shit has changed so much because all of these monsters, and also I'm like terrified, and I lost 2 legs and half an arm, then I don't think they're gonna be that much of a help.
I don't think you're giving them enough credit.
I think you're giving them too much credit.
Well, either way, it sounds like we're entering the mountain at the
fortunately,
same point. So
There's 3 other people who have opinions.
Well, there is 3 other people. I don't know if they have opinions.
I was to say, what's
That's
an
good.
opinion?
That's a good point.
Okay, well then, next time we will enter the mountains at that point and try to find a ward and get an idea of what sort of crazy shit's been happening in the mountains while you guys have been researching and gallivanting and whatnot. You'll get a little taste of what all your fellow judges have been experiencing for the last month or so. So, no, month and a half actually. So, I'll see you guys next time, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.